silo in between the others. And if you've executed everything correctly up to this point, you can get right across that finish line. And you've got to do that 12 laps. And that's what makes this one of my favorite races.
Yeah, very interesting, Red. I understand. Yeah, just with the silos as well, just races to get a bit of a map update too on that as well. So as they come around where it shows you them going in between the silos, they've been given a track note to now go around. So when you're looking at this map, just on the first and the last silo on the final straight there, they go around those silos. They don't go between them. Just if you're watching the stream and you're wondering why that is happening, we've given it a track update note on that as well. So yeah, Red, this is a good one. We have done a similar version of this track in the past. This is a bit of an update to it, but yeah, it's going to be race 2 is going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, and like I said, just those 13 keys to success, remembering our race number 2 over at the Dust Hustle. Now, let's move back over to race number 1, the race number 1, the Leisure Loop at the Platforms of Crusader. We can talk through that. And welcome back, everyone, from that brief detour.
Yeah, right. Race number 1, we got Leisure Loop back here. We're just setting up for that now. Teams are getting on the grid very shortly. We just have some final people to just transport over. You know how it is. Sometimes people don't make the taxi to get over, and we got to go pick them up. So we've got 1 or 2 more people on their way, and then we can get some vision on the grid and kind of show you what this is going to look like. It's a pretty tricky course. I'm going to go through this a little bit here. As you come off the first part of the island, so after the first corner, you head down to the first bridge. Once you get into that island with the 2 bridges, you can actually make some decisions on where you want to go. Now, there's probably like two and a half, I'll say, 2.5 good ways to kind of do that. I have a preferred way to traverse that island, but it'll be interesting to see which direction teams choose to go through that island this year. Obviously, last year we've got some history on what to do, so it'll be interesting to see what people bring across to this year in regards to pathing on that second island. As you get off the second island and onto the top end of the track, that route is nice and clean. Like you should go the route that is listed in the map right now. And as you get across that top section, it's really fast through there. It's pretty fun to watch, because if you don't hit the small chicane areas on that, it can really just completely throw you out. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do this year, man.
Yep, and again, for race 1, that is going to be 8 laps, starting that 4x4 grid. I hope we'll see a little bit of a chaotic start as the grid's a little compact, but things should really separate as we get in. I'd bet by about halfway through the first lap, we'll see that pack start to separate. And, it's going to be an important factor as far as where to overtake, where you're able to make up some ground and trade positions during today's race. Now, I don't recall if we had any launches off of the platform on this track last year. I do know we had a couple of other tracks where the Drake Mule itself saw some launching, but we are going to be on the STV today for this Leisure Loop, and hopefully a little bit more stable.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we had any fall off the platform situations last year. A lot of the sections where you got to cross narrow areas have fencing, so it kind of protects you, especially in the bridge areas. But I will say, once you get to that last corner before the finish line, it can get a little bit hairy up that top end there. Also on that top straight just before that area as well, can get a little bit hairy too. But yeah, always love a launch off the platform situation. But yeah, it's a good looking track. Crusader's a nice place to race, so we should get plenty of beautiful footage today.
And you are seeing some debris on the platform here. This was actually originally part of the Siege of Orison dynamic event. They've done a terrible job cleaning this place up. You'll still see some debris as part of the track today. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, we're probably going to add to it. I think that's probably going to be what's going to happen. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, like you said, it's part of those ongoing events in Star Citizen, those dynamic events, which are, give us some good content to muck around with. So if you haven't had a chance to join the Siege of Orison, check it out. It's pretty fun. I enjoy it, and yeah, it's probably still going to look dirty today, mate. I think.
And like I said, or like you said, we will definitely get it a little bit more messy as today's race progresses.
Yeah. So going back to vehicle speeds a little bit here. So throughout the season, we've got. We try to choose a decent mixture of vehicles. You'll see today we're using the STV at 34 meters a second. It's it's not the fastest four-wheel vehicle this season, obviously, but still, I will say, just candidly, vehicle movement and mechanics are pretty average at the moment as far as handling. They're different between vehicles. Like for instance, when we chose the qualifying vehicle, we did test the Cyclone on our new abandoned speedway qualifying track, but just the handling it's not as fun for me as the RSI Lynx was, and that's why we chose the Lynx. It had more movement. It didn't feel like it was just on a rail half the time. So it was definitely the vehicle of choice for me when we were testing. And it's pretty quick too. It's at 36 meters a second. It's very similar to the Cyclone. But you won't see a lot of Cyclone this season, basically because of the way it's handling. It will appear in the final, actually, but you won't see much of it this season. We got the STV today, and we got the Mule today. The Mule is actually pretty fun to race with. It's an odd shape, so those narrow track straights and corners are fun to watch with the Mule because of the vehicle dimensions. So yeah, it's interesting to actually race with the Mule. I actually quite enjoy it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But obviously, we're going to go back to Gravlev as well with Levski, and we've got a Winner's Circle Arena Commander track coming up too, which will be fun. It's a little bit different as well.
Yeah, and the qualifier was in the Arena Commander as well as race number 4, which is going to be race day 2. So today we've got a couple of slower vehicles. Next race week, which is going to be on April 18th, that's going to be our Gravlev vehicles and those faster speeds, faster paced. We're going to have our standard lap at the Levski Helix for 10 laps, but then we're going to go for 3 laps and heats in Dead Man's Hook for the LS System and Arena Commander. So that'll be an interesting one to look out for.
Yeah, man. We've also got engineering this year, which we didn't really have last year. So components are interchangeable. Now, a lot of our courses are kind of fairly quick and short-based laps. We do have an endurance race coming up, which is going to be on Bloom, called Marshfire Ridge. Now, that course is more of an endurance course. And we wanted to include, we got some feedback from the racers themselves as well. We were considering doing pit lanes. We have done it for races in the past. Because most of our races were kind of short form this year, didn't really include it. But Marshfire Ridge is a much longer track. So it's 2 laps, but it's a good amount of kilometers. So we've actually included a pit lane for Marshfire Ridge, which we'll show you on the day. But we will actually give teams the opportunity to repair, replace, and fix their racing vehicle. You should see more of this coming in future versions of the System 7. Marshfire Ridge is going to be our first System 7 tested pit lane experience. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited to kind of see how that works when that track comes around. We have done it before. We did it for we did it on where was it? It was, I can't remember. It was an ATMO social event, and we added a pit lane there in between caterpillars, and they could switch, and that was a pretty long track too. So yeah, man. With engineering coming and repair coming, you're going to see a lot of changes to ATMO Esports events as well, including the Demo Rally. I think you'll see a lot of changes in the future for that too.
And from your experience, you talk about the vehicles and the handling, the enjoyment of, as well as the overall performance of the vehicle. Do you feel like there's much of a justification to swap out components now for higher performance? What that has looked like in your testing experience? Have those been a benefit? Has it not made a difference, or what has it been your opinion?
Yeah, there isn't massive differences. I'm sure you'll get some different feedback from the races in the event today. I haven't I've done a little bit of switching, but I haven't actually noticed too much performance change. Obviously, with maintaining the vehicle's consistency and damage is obviously a massive factor
Hmm.
for us as well with these races, and I think that's the biggest concern for a lot of the races is the vehicle's ability to survive the actual course length.
Yeah.
Obviously, we still see a lot of desync things occurring, so it is hard to kind of sometimes avoid a racer because of
Yeah.
that distance and that
And
unseeable difference. Yeah.
yeah, and we saw this last week during the qualifiers. I think one of the racers, from our perspective, the camera caught them getting launched across the map, but it was actually just a desync with them. They were still racing and fine on the track. Just
Yeah.
one of the racers saw something different, and that's part of the vehicle desync. Now,
Yep.
you talked about the vehicle surviving with some of these longer races and the environments we're getting into. We actually have to also worry about the drivers themselves surviving. We saw that be an issue last year on the Rift of a Deer track, where multiple race teams had gotten out and it was freezing cold. So they died from hypothermia before they could finish the race. And we also saw that at the Volcano Lake, since it was a longer endurance track where your character has to be taken care of as well during these races.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see much of that this year as far as extreme weather temperatures, but yes. Each course that we have comes with its own subset of rules. We obviously have the official regulations for the event itself, which you can check out at system7.gg, and we have updated that completely. So we're trying to get all of our rules and regulations in line, so each of our tournaments have the same kind of rule structure. So System 7 actually kind of kicked this off last year. We kind of created a better penalty table, a penalty table, so it was easier for people to see. The Daymar Rally recently had this treatment on the rules as well, and when you go to the website, the course page now has an extensive version of the rules, but each track at the System 7 has its own subset of rules. So if anything is extraordinary, we generally try to make a miniature rule for the course itself. So, for instance, with the Rift of a Deer, we may actually allow racers to care for their character to survive a course length if it's required. This year, we're pretty fine. I don't think we're going to see much of that. Everyone's pretty much environmentally protected on our courses this year, but obviously, hydration is still a factor for some of those longer races too.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I know we've got a couple of sponsors for the race that we want to cover today. You want to lead us off?
Yeah, obviously, yeah, we've got some incredible supporters of ATMO Esports, and even at Enter Atmosphere 2956, we got a chance to give a lot of some prizes away, which is fantastic. We have Monster Tech, which is a long-term partner with ATMO Esports, with their mounts and rigs that we use on site at our physical events as well. Phenomenal support from that group. So love them.
Yeah, you can really transform your gaming experience. They've got high quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Next up, we've got Pigeon Spaceport. They do ship models. So these are bringing your favorite ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Now, I have a display case that's going up. It was in my previous studio. It's going up in my new studio, and I love having these spaceship kits available, like showing them off. The detail is amazing with these Pigeon Spaceports you see there. So don't forget to check them out as part of our sponsors. Beyond that, we also have Virpil Controls, delivering the precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Virpil joysticks are wonderful. They're a mainstay of the community. A lot of racers out here using them, and a preferred provider for ATMO Esports. So Yeah, definitely those that can appreciate fine quality flight peripherals.
Yeah, definitely good quality, amazing quality. And like I said, recently at Enter Atmosphere 2956, we got a massive shipment of their stock. We all know the quality. Like you said, community mainstays for sure, big supporters of Star Citizen. So, you'll see their stuff everywhere because it is the best. So, if you don't have Verpal or you haven't tried Verpal, please give it a go. You'll notice the difference. And with Pigeon Spaceport too, really interesting. I actually had the chance to open some of the models for the first time at Enter Atmosphere 2956 and kind of piece that together, and we set them up at the casting table. They're incredible. They look great. The amount of little bits and pieces you get to plug it in, and the detail, and all the movement, and the parts that to actually have movement in it is impressive. Even the box itself is pretty insane, to be honest, for the display. So, yep. Cool. And then we also have who else we got? Corsair. We got Corsair. Is that my name? Oh no, that's the sponsor. Apologies. Corsair. Obviously, big fans of Corsair. Really happy to get them involved this year. Their new keyboard, the Galleon, is incredible. Has a built-in Stream Deck, which is awesome. We also had a chance to check that out at Enter Atmosphere 2956. I know I'm saying that a lot, but yeah, it was fun to check out the equipment that they've got coming through. And I recently actually just got myself a Xenon Edge 2, a little 14.5-inch LCD supporting monitor, which is great for streams and Twitch chat and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, Corsair have been, an incredible peripheral supporter of Star Citizen, and I love their equipment. I'm sure a lot of us do. But yeah, check out the new Galleon Edge. The new Galleon, not the Xenon Edge. The Galleon's awesome. Check it out. It's great.
Yeah, with the integrated Stream Deck keyboard on there, definitely something. If you're using a Stream Deck and haven't seen it yet, definitely worth checking out. A lot of key bindings in Star Citizen you got to remember, and having them right at your fingertips with customized buttons is one of the main features of that Stream Deck that I've appreciated. And having a keyboard with it integrated, saving a lot of desk space. So.
Yeah.
All right. So we're still working on getting the racers up to their starting grid, getting that set up. But do we want to break down where the teams are at and how did they do in the qualifiers? I think we're going to start off with what I think was one of my favorite performances, the top position here for Team Punch Dummies, with Herbie placing 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I think that was on the second of 3 laps in the race. He took that with a fantastic run and came in chat afterwards even and apologized for being slow. He said, sorry for being kind of slow today. Team Punch Dummies definitely putting up some good numbers in past events, showing that during qualifiers and earning that pole position at number 1. Sanji-sama, the Polar Duck for initial D, they both placed actually second and third in the overall, so got their team solidly positioned. They came in with a time of 2 minutes 13 seconds, and their competition, team number 3, Amarok's Fang, was 2 minutes 14 seconds, with Anaril posting their team best. So a lot of good names on those teams that we will be looking at today.
Yeah, we got some interesting competition. I was actually on one of the servers. We were running 2 servers trying to get teams through the qualifier as quick as we could. And I was actually in there with June Riders. I remember June Riders racing in there, and they were actually fairly early on my roster and pulled a pretty decent time fairly quickly. And I actually had high hopes that they would pull further up in the rankings, but obviously, we got Punch Dummies, who I like to call Herbie and the O's, because you got Jackaden, you got Jacko, you got Gerbo, you got Shugo, who all come with Herbie as well. So Herbie did really well. And as expected, I guess, I think we all understand Herbie's ability to race is impressive. But Test Squadron's in there as well, number 6. That they've been racing with us for a little bit as well, and I'm actually really interested to see how they go this season. I'm actually a bit of a fan. They I've had really good experiences with them. I've worked with them a little bit as far as on the back end organization to enter our races, and I've enjoyed working with them. AWA, I'm going to say AWA have been racing with ATMO Esports, I think, since year 1. It might be year 2. Same as Sky, a racing team as well. Both those teams, AWA and Sky, in 8th and 9th position. Both, I know Sky is year 1. I think AWA might actually be year 1 as well. But yeah, long-term races with ATMO Esports. So they're in the mid-pack. We got them hanging out in the mid-pack. But yeah, Reb, what do we got? We got 10 through 16, mate, as well.
Yeah. So Team Tang, we saw them. We've got EP1Q, that is our racer for today. But yeah, we saw Slam KH4 and that one guy both in the qualifiers earlier. Now we're gonna see somebody different from Team Tang today, EP1Q. So we'll see what numbers they're able to put up. R/SC1 with Ghost and Coffee from the Netherlands. Now we saw Ghost and Coffee racing on the qualifiers. Respectable position. That was number 11. Prushbringer with Just Prush. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Prushbringer is one of the solo teams for this year. So we'll see Prushbringer on each of the races for this season. Maybe a bit of a strategy there with the additional teams. You have the option to go pick somebody who performs better on a specific vehicle. You can specialize, where Prushbringer really has to be the master of all in order to put some points in. Then we got also another solo, Renlos Malik on Renlos Racing, coming in at position 13. Dean Kakis with Warprom as well, position 14. So 12, 13, and 14 are all of our solo team or solo driver teams. So.
Yeah, nice, man. And then we've got obviously Czech Leak and Delta Dietis down there coming in from last year. Also massive supporters of ATMO Esports events. Also long-term stayers, actually have done salvaging contracts for the Daymar Rally as well. They're very heavily involved in what we do here at ATMO Esports. So we'll see. It's going to be, they haven't really ranked yet, so we haven't seen where they're going to fall in the 16 when they start racing. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to watch them today and see how they compete against some of these newer teams in last year's teams as well. So obviously, just real quick, some of the teams in the top 10, especially. Even though Pushbringer and Renlos have been around for a little bit, as well as so has SPG, but they have members from previous champion teams, but have still qualified this year with a different team combination. So each year you can pre-qualify like Delta Dietis have, but if your team has any adjustments to it, you have to re-qualify. So some of the teams that have got qualifying times have members in those teams that have qualified and won championships in the past, but have a different team composition this year. So there's plenty of experience in that list, even though it only shows that Delta Dietis are the only ones that pre-qualify. So
yeah. And now we also we did have team number 4 Catcom and team number 5 Premier Card Colonial. Those were some favorites out there. I know Walkie Alex and Endermaster are excited to get back out on the racing track today. Don't know if we mentioned them in the initial, but yeah, that middle of the pack for our groups with the starting grid, which we talked about some favorites, a lot of great names there in the racing community if you're familiar with their previous standings. So some notable moments from our qualifier, obviously Neojet with Sire Racing, the one that got launched sideways. They're coming in and yeah, they're at position 8, and I think expecting a good run from them. Le Bleu Pyrus, multiple sideways momentum shifts. It was pretty chaotic running the qualifiers, and that could be desync related. It could just be handling of the vehicle. We'll see if they're able to make that happen. Walkie Alex, actually, Premier Court Colonial, they were midway through a run, had a server disconnect, and then had to come back. But they did post 5th position at 2 minutes 15 seconds in the qualifiers. As you mentioned, Test Squadron, MT Kamikaze did have a pretty great session, and he led those standings up until Kirby's latest run. Now they ended up at about position 6. R/1SC, yeah, had a pretty bad first lap, but did see that improve up to 2 minutes 28 seconds to put that in for the qualifier. There was a lot of inversions that would happen, but definitely saw a big improvement session 1 to session 2. Maybe a little more comfortable with the vehicles as we go through today's race. So,
yeah, we should be around 5-ish minutes away from some vision here at the start line. So we're just gonna, talk about some of this stuff a little bit longer. We will talk about a bit of the history of the event. So System 7 is around 5 years in age. So you'll see that we now have a fairly large kind of back-end roster of tracks. So we kind of, even though we have 5 new ones this year, and we have kind of created a lot of new ones in the past, we're starting to build a bit of a library of track maps now, which is pretty insane. We probably have like 24 maps in total that we've done over the 5 years. So going into future seasons, I've kind of been talking to Crucian and the team about this. We may be just bringing, instead of like making maps every year, we're going to start to kind of just rotate some of those maps back into the season. I will just say candidly, I think after us running the Daymar Rally this year, then going straight into a live physical event in February, and then going straight into System 7, like it is a lot to kind of like produce maps in that time period as well, and kind of keep them ready.
And these
so
maps
we were
are
really
not-
close.
Yeah, these maps are not designed by the game, by the game developers. These are locations you've gone through and scouted and say, this would look like an interesting place to put, a checkpoint, get some start and finish. We mentioned one of the maps actually getting completely upended. That was a Marchfire Ridge, right? That the terrain there.
The Monarchs track, Jackson's Gauntlet. We're going to update that one. Yep.
Yeah. So, working on identifying checkpoints there. This is all driven by you guys, the ATMO Esports race designers for these events. And it is good to build that library of tracks because, sometimes things are going to change. You have to adapt to it and make sure that you've got a good library put together.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Like you mentioned, Jackson's Gauntlet getting a update even from when we made it last month to this month. So yeah, it's there's some track maintenance as far as the tracks go, but at least it's less work, kind of like doing the research. And we'll got to give a little bit of a shout out to Zool and Dexter for doing some more back end research and development on those tracks as well. Looking for those tracks. Obviously, we have 2 Arena Commander tracks this season as well, which is nice. It just allows us to lobby up quicker. We've also this year, for the first time, have 2 races per day. The last 2 years, we've chosen particular days to do dual racing to try and reduce the size of the months that we actually do this event. So this year, though, we have 2 races every single day. And Arena Commander helps us do that because we can lobby up in one location quicker and then do a PU1 quick. Set up for PU first, do that race because we can kind of prep for it, then quickly switch out and join a lobby straight on Arena Commander and kind of do PU and Arena Commander in one day.
I like to call this the Star Citizen 1 hour rule because anytime you want to get something done in Star Citizen, you got to plan for about an hour. Right. And when you're going with a group, it's not like that averages out. You've got to go with the least common denominator. And there's always going to be somebody that has something that breaks. Maybe their ship explodes as they're getting to the landing zone and they've got to go respawn and spend another 20 minutes in transit and getting a vehicle respawn. Those type of things definitely complicate things. And, doing a double race day, that can be complex, but doing one of those in Arena Commander really simplifies that. Let's get in. Once you've got the party all assembled, you can go right into those lobbies, restart them pretty quickly with vehicles that are prepped, ready to go in a controlled environment. But
100%. And what we do with our operations team is spend a lot of time making sure that we can do transport, and we minimize the time between races, just from moving from one location to the other. So you'll notice on the calendar, if it's a PU location with an arena commander location, that's pretty easy to switch. But if it's a PU location for both races, we will keep both races in the same system, at least sometimes the same moon or planet, and then be able to rotate as quick as we can. So we're trying to reduce that schedule, and it's very important. And I think, like I mentioned earlier when I was talking about the library of tracks, when we go into future seasons, we're probably just going to try and rehash some of those tracks. And we now have a lot of locations. Obviously, though, places like Nyx, and I think you'll notice with the branding, we've gone with the heading, and we've done like a Nyx edition, we did a Pyro edition. So when a new system comes out, that might be the time where we kind of implement a new track or two, just to introduce that new system to System 7, so that we can race and experience that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the Levski Helix is going to be a really interesting one, because those who have experienced Levski back in the 3.0 days, we had a pit, but it was very bespoke. It wasn't anything like we've seen today. They've expanded Levski's landing zone significantly with the release into the persistent universe now in the Nyx system. And we've got that column, a shaft that goes all the way through, and incorporating that into the part of the race is going to be really interesting. And being 0G, there's no real way up or down. Drivers are going to have to make sure they orient themselves so that they can make their way through the track properly. And being 0G, a little bit faster, up in space, they're going to have faster speeds on those hover bikes, and going to be a very interesting track there. And that same day, they're going right into Arena Commander on the X1 Velocity for the heat-based races later on. So,
a bit of a grab day, that one. But mate, when Levski come out, even before I saw the layout of the new location physically, I was like, okay, well, let's make a track. We got to make a track for this one. So Zool actually jumped in and started working on track options, and then I kind of jump in and look at it and test it and kind of check for entertainment value, as well as distance and time. Levski's interesting when you race the Helix. It definitely throws the orientation out. You got to look for there's kind of like lighting landmarks. Once you get underneath the rock, you can there's lighting landmarks that you can kind of identify and keep you on course. And then obviously you're going to do another double loop and come back down into another cavern just next to the hangar column that they've got there, and then back in for the Starline. But the grid's going to be interesting for that one too. The starting location is at the base of the column, the hangar column, and it's all hover, so we can kind of adjust it. But there is a little mini platform down the bottom, which is cool. So it's interesting, man. Yeah,
and it's going to be 10 laps of that, so they'll get an opportunity to really understand the track there. Next up for us today, after this leisure loop, we have another 12 laps around the Dust Hustle, and we talked about that map at the beginning. The leisure loop today, 8 laps with the 4x4 grid. The other heat-based race we're going to be doing is Jackson's Gauntlet on Monarchs. You talked about that being an interesting layout change as Monarchs got updated this patch. So the heat-based race is going to be a big factor there. And with those heat-based races, so we'll get all 16 teams, 4 separate heats for the initial. Positions 1 and 2 will move on. 1 goes into the finals heat, and 1 goes into the runner-up heat to determine those. But there is still the fastest time bonus, which could be, we expect it to be in the finals run. Those are obviously our fastest racers based on them completing. But there could be an opportunity where that runner-up team instead gets the fastest lap, or someone who qualifies to the initial sets that fastest time. So it'll be interesting to watch out for that. There's 1 bonus point for that fastest lap time. And again, that's for Jackson's Gauntlet, as well as on Dead Man's Hook, one of our Arena Commander maps.
Yeah, cool. Enigmatic, have we got Jackson's Gauntlet there? I might just talk about the changes that are coming to that track, if you have it. So basically, while Enigmatic's having a look at that map option, so I went out there last night, like I mentioned, and as you can see from this imagery, we start kind of at the landing zone there. There's a gateway just at the front. there is a new bunch of terrain. So there's actually there was when this was created last month, there was no trees. Now there is alien trees everywhere. At least they've bunched the trees and there is pathing, so you can take decent routes. But it is littered with trees now. It's completely different to what it looks like. The rock formations here that are displayed are also completely different. They've replaced that. The left side is now completely changed with like a little mini landing zone and some buildings and an antenna and stuff. So there's actually a little location there. And that canyon, the final canyon. Sorry, the on the opposite side of start and finish, that canyon there, that's gone as well, unfortunately, because I really love that about the event. But actually, just near the start line, there's like a little mini one. I'm gonna use that as well. But yeah, it's a complete revisit on this track. It's still definitely a decent track and raceable. It's going to look very, very different to what it is now. There's also the ramp there, just at the end of the course, just before the finish line. There's a little ramp there, which is a bit rough, but I've done it a bunch of times. You can do it. You just got to be careful. You run up that ramp and then turn right onto the finish line. That's all still there. Thankfully, we still have that. But yeah, you're going to see some massive updates on that track.
Yeah, and going with the Drake Mule for that. Now, Marshfire Ridge looks like an interesting one as well, because we are going to have the bloom surface terrain there. It has always been one of my favorites in Pyro. Gonna have 224 meters per second speeds over the terrain there. I think it's gonna be a difficult aspect for the racers to accommodate, but with that, also with the Dead Man's Hook, the other two fast racers are really going to be either Arena Commander or Zero G. So I think that's the one I expect to see more crashes on, potentially. More difficulty with the terrain on those hover bikes. We saw that being an issue over the last couple of years. Have they solidified the way the hover bikes respond to changes in terrain and larger rock features?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been racing them a little bit. I am not finding that there's any base adjustment. So if you like you mentioned, I'm actually trying to remember. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, because when you're racing over terrain and you get the undulation, I don't think you're actually getting minor adjustments on the grav position. I think you control a lot of that yourself. Obviously, there is some amount of distance, but when you're coming across like small undulation and rocks and whatnot, I'm pretty sure there isn't much adjustment in your grav position, like your altitude. From memory, I'm trying to remember now. It's a good question.
Yeah. Now, we are taking our first looks at the Leisure Loop, this platform in the clouds of Crusader, as they are unloading the vehicles, trying to get that starting grid set up, and we see them start popping in. Some of the terrain as it renders properly. Getting those vehicles offloaded from the Hercules into the starting grid. Yeah. And man, look at that. Great conditions.
We got half a
grid.
Yep, we got half a grid set up. Looking good. Just above them, where the back of the grid is the last turn into the finish line there, between those two trees near that rock there, just on the outside of that rock. So that's your last corner as you come in across this pad, which is technically, the start-finish line. Looking good. We're almost there by the looks of it, which is great. So big-ass Hercules in the middle. Yeah, it's I haven't seen that skin in the game before. I've seen it obviously in the shop, but I haven't seen
the Hurston dynamics. Cool. It's an interesting one. I'd expect a little bit more gold and less of the weird brown everywhere. The underside, I think, is almost entirely that mustard gold-ish.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it looks nice. As you can see, we've got plenty of daylight here today. That's something we also try to prepare if we can. We check the daylight schedule and try and make sure there is, because there is a couple of these platforms in different locations around Crusader, and we can choose one that is more appropriate to the time of day. So we have done that. And we've got a nice amount of daylight, as you can see. Nice little skin there on the STV with the mustard as well. Yeah. It's a mustardy day today, that's for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, a couple other paints. We'll be able to see racer names on those soon. But again, our starting grid is going to be based on the qualifier times, and the positions and results from race one for today will determine starting grid. Similar 4x4, but with a Drake Mule for the second half of the day as we watch Princenza Foxy with the direct overhead views showing us the whole grid. We'll love to see it. Getting these racers set up and started.
Yeah, shout out to Foxy and Broms for our feeds today. Phenomenal ATMO team members. Got to hang out with Foxy in Manchester, which was lovely. Got to meet for the first time in person, which was really nice. And she helped us out heaps at EA54. Took a bunch of photos at the media wall for everybody, which was lovely. And her fantastic partner helped us at the ticket booth. So, yeah, the family, the ATMO family here is fantastic. So Fox has been with us for ages. Broms has been kicking around too for a bit. Broms is also fantastic. It's always lovely to meet people in person especially when you've been playing with them and working with them for such a long time. And Foxy's definitely one of those people that was really nice to meet in person. So love our camera team, love our ATMO little family here. Getting set up at the grid.
Yeah, see the drivers getting lined up, spotting through each of those sides,
straight.
and the communication that's happening behind the scenes right now has got to be working wonders. I do see a Pisces rescue over there, just for the top offs if anybody is feeling a little dehydrated or needs any sustenance.
Or if anyone gets run over, which is always possible.
That's never happened. That's never happened.
Never. Actually, there was a fair amount of controversy last year at the grid. I think from memory, I'm trying to remember what it was. Someone used a tractor beam to move a vehicle, and someone got injured, and then there was a lot of upheaval about that. So we've kind of updated the rules to kind of include that ruling as well. So hopefully we don't see any of that this year at Leisure Loop.
Yeah, and I think one of the other aspects of the event last year was that the tractor beams themselves were causing the vehicle physics to bug out, and so there were certain racers. A lot of people were using the tractor beams to put the vehicles into the starting grid, but they were not power cycling, turning off and back on the vehicle, and so the physics got discombobulated. And this is one of those emerging issues that just kind of happens sometimes in a complicated game environment. And yeah, we saw that with massive desync on vehicles that just were starting and stopping on their own. And on a tighter clearance track like this, really driving things pretty poorly for most of the race and having to red flag it. So
yeah, this is looking like a much smoother grid operation than last year, I will say. It's a lot smoother. It's very straight. Everyone's there's not vehicles flipping around all over the place. So hopefully we have all of that obviously causes delays. But this is looking pretty smooth. I think the only delays we have is like the transportation and despawning is our biggest enemy at the moment. But yeah, quick shout out to QJM as well, our medical crew, also looking after some security aspects for us along with Das Cartel. Thanks to them. They most likely supplied that Pisces at the back there for medical support and hydration. They bring us supplies for the races and medical beds and supply all of that on their own. So big shout out to those guys as well. Yeah.
Right, we're starting to see our player names. I love this view as we're getting ready for the race to start. Looks like the grid is finally ready. We see Herbie, Sanji Sama, Anreal, Endermaster waking up on the front line. Walkie Alex, Renee, iRise, and Razor. Beyond that, that's a cool Neojet, EP10Q, Ghost and Coffee, Pushbringer on our third row, and on the fourth row is Renis Malik, Dean Kakis, Kibukedisu, and Check Leak with the crew.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it'd be great to see some nameplates on this grid, and yeah, Foxy's
most of them
lit that up
there.
for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the great view looking down at the track as we get ready to launch into race 1.
All right, we're about to kick off here. Grid's ready. I think we're going to see this start happen very, very soon. They get their own countdown. They have the SCR kind of like in game in chat prompt. They'll have a verbal one in game to them directly, which you won't hear over the broadcast, but you'll see them start. Then you'll have a starting ship, what we call a starting ship, which just launches up into the air in front of them so that they can all sync and understand that the countdown has completed. It's just like a backup. If anyone has any communication issues or misses the text countdown or whatnot. So we got like 3 countdowns happening at the same time, technically, if you include the ship. So yeah, just comes with experience, I guess, with trying out different communications platforms. But yeah, should be down really soon. We're looking at 1 minute for countdown.
Yeah, teams are standing by. The grid is set. Got Herbie in the top left corner there, ready to make the best out of that. And the overlay.
Red. So who you looking at? Who you backing here a little bit? Obviously, not with prejudice, but
you know, I've got some favorites out there. The audience favorite, I know anytime we see Premier Court Colonial, they are just live in chat, hyping everything up. Test Squadron, Renee, and the crew there, seeing some great performances. You know, Renlos doing great. Check Leak with their previous qualifications. Sanji Sama, you know, solo from last year. But yeah, you can't deny Herbie with Team Punch Nomies. They do put up some dominant numbers. So let's hear from chat. What is your favorites?
Yeah, pole position on Herbie there. 10 seconds. Countdown 5 seconds. We're going to go here. I'll just let the countdown go. 2, 1, go. Let's see if it gets counted. Here we go. Start ship up. Here we go. Awesome. All right. Yeah. Oh, Herbie's kind of rough on the corner there. Just remember, the first corner's on the left side. There's a sandbar right in the middle of everything, which is kind of throwing a bunch of people, which is crazy. But like you said, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see with Check Leak and Delta Dietis. Neo just smacked into that guy.
Endermaster and Walkie Alex, 4 and 5 from the initial.
Oof. Some argy-bargy at the start, which is awesome to watch, to be honest. A little bit of competition. The end is clear in head.
Yep. The clearances here as we get into some of the more narrow areas of this platform, and of course our camera operators learning what their limits are.
Yeah,
Endermaster coming through that first turn. It's a very narrow bridge on the island.
Clear gap. Yeah, and there's got a clear gap here. Okay, let's see what kind of choices he makes with this island, because there is kind of 2 clear pathways. If you do one really well, you can come ahead, but if you do the other, it's kind of safer and you kind of can't really stuff it up too much. So this is the decision he's going to make. He's going down the middle. Actually, I'm surprised. It's probably not the way that I would have gone, but he's got his own route. Okay. Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but you can't stuff this one up. There's a lot of little intricacies to that little straight. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, and definitely further out ahead. I wonder what's happening in the middle of the pack there as things have kind of bunched up. They're taking a cautious approach onto and off of the ramp.
Smart.
That's one of the risk areas you might see.
Sure is. If you've raced it, you'll know. If you hit that too hard, you flip. So he knows the track. There is a ship on the track.
Rook 42 set down on the ground. We see a second vehicle coming in. That's Sanji.
Yeah, Rook 42. That's not part of our team. That is something in the persistent universe that racers are just going to have to deal with. They're not on our crew. They're just hanging out. So yeah, but yeah, this top straight, you got that little kind of chicane type thing. It's fun to hit that. You got to do it well though. And once again, this corner you can hit really fast as well. Okay, now just as he comes around here, we're going to have a look at how he handles the kind of tree situation. He kind of has to get across to that path on the right side to head back onto the final straight. It is tricky. There's a lot of little bumps and like bits to cross. And okay, he's doing the sandbar. Okay, he's got to turn left here.
Hit the sandbar.
All right, he's got to turn sharp left here. He's got to go through the trees, hit the little pad on the ground there. That pad, he's hit it. All right, he's clean. He's clean. And he has to stay on that side of the road, on the far side. He can't cross the road in the middle there. They're all hit. Yeah. They're all, yep, perfect. That's all fine. Okay, looking good. Looking good. Sanji's catching.
Okay, and Endermaster hitting the sand trap, coming up over, recovering from some momentum loss there.
It's really good to see Sanji. Sanji doing well this year. I was really surprised. I know I'm being a little bit negative here, but I was really surprised to see Sanji's time in qualifiers. He absolutely smashed it. So Sanji's a long-term racer with ATMO. He comes to everything. So it's really nice to see him racing. He's currently in second, doing really well. Almost a collision from the other end of the races there.
Crossover definitely making a difference as they're coming through.
Neojet third. Wonder if he's wearing his helmet. Love Neo. Neo's great. He's also he loves racing. He's in everything. But here we go. Sanji's got an opportunity here. He's got nice. This is good racing, man. It's good racing. Sanji in lead, took time on the bridge, end of second now. Neo's just made a little bump there, pushing him back, but still in third. Okay, Sanji's flipped it. It is tricky there. Ender's decided to let him have it. Yeah.
Neojet coming in behind there as well. Delta Diotis check leak with a DNF.
Oh, that is unfortunate. I was really interested to see where he was going to place amongst the grid. Let's see what Sanji chooses here. Sanji's choosing the middle route.
Alex, yeah. Endermaster's going far left.
Herbie's mid at the moment. 6th by the looks of it. 6th, maybe 7th. Okay, yeah. So FYI for everyone watching, it's always got to be the second bridge. The first bridge is covered in boxes for cover fire for the event.
Yeah.
So it's always the second bridge. It's a cleaner one anyway. And also just track notes. If you turn right at that bridge and try and cut down on that side, you actually can't path through there at all. So this route is definitely the pathway. That's also a slow bump you need to be aware of. You need to kind of hit that slow. There's a couple of those positions. So if you're well versed in the track, you'll understand exactly where to pause to kind of hit those little bumps to get the best momentum coming through the course. And once again, good vision from the team. Looks good. Love to see some mid pack.
Yeah. Ghost and Coffee there. Walkie Alex now Ghost and Coffee. Coming in from team R/SC1. We saw a rise from Dune Riders. There we go. We see, of course, our support crew as well. Crushbringer. Looks like they're stopped kind of in the middle there. See them get set up. Sanji Sema making the turn in for that final approach. Followed shortly by Neojet and Endermaster. Neojet from Sire Racing Team. And Endermaster from Catcom. Sire Racing Team initially on 9th position. And we're not seeing Herbie, middle of the pack, who was our favorite at position 1. Really had a rough start. Herbie was slow off of the starting line. That could have been a desync issue. But now we've got Sanji Sama from Initial D Racing currently in position 1.
Yeah, lovely to see Sanji up front there. Really enjoying watching this racing. Enders dropped back to 3rd from 1st. But like you said, that grid at the start was very contentious. There was a lot of movement. People had to kind of choose left or right around that sandbar. And that really divided the group into a couple of smaller packs. But yeah, Sanji's... Neojet's made another error. Ender might capitalize on that. We got
Walkie
Walkerlex
Alex
is kind
hung
of
up
like
on some
not
tree.
moving. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Neo. See,
Choosing
Neo's on the
the,
outside there now. Oh, look at this.
choosing the lines
Oh,
here, making a
he's hit
big
a pole.
difference.
He hit a pole. He's hit a pole. All right.
Yeah, it looks like Walkie Alex and Dean Kakis, both of their STVs have flipped over, waiting to see if they can recover those. So Dean in that sand trap still just kind of stuck. Sanji and Endermaster. And that was on their first lap. So they're currently inverted, waiting to put in one.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a call in the briefing for people that asking if they can get out of their vehicle and track the beam flip mid-race, which we've denied. That would just cause way too many contentious issues, in my opinion. Plus, yeah, like racing is racing. Just if you're on the track, stay in your vehicle. We have denied that, and you need to auto flip, or you need to just kind of like try and get your vehicle up on your own. But it is 8 laps, so you never know. Dean may get his vehicle back on, continue to race. Sanji may have way more issues further down the track. Once you get into 6, 7 laps, you may well see some damage to your vehicle, and he may have issues further down the line as far as the lap count goes. So you never know. Dean could always kick back in. So yeah.
Yeah, we see Ghost and Coffee there, R/1SC, Renless Malik, Pushbringer. Looks like Pushbringer is also static. Working through that. Renless from Renless Racing. A couple of our solos. And hey, is it allowable for another racing team's vehicle to nudge you, try and invert you, and get you back on track?
Yeah, that's okay, because that's basically just vehicle collision, which happens all the time anyway. It's no big deal. If you wanna pause your race to help another racer, that's you're affecting your lap time. So that is a decision that a team would have to make on their own.
That might be a decision to make on lap 6 or so. We'll see if teams opt for that.
Yeah. Definitely. So it does get pretty tight out on that last straight there. You can see Sanji's cutting it real close to the edge of the platform to get as much of that uninterrupted track, try and reduce the amount of poles and trees he has ahead of him to kind of get a nice straight line. But it is still risky. Like if you tap left a little bit too much, you can easily lose control. So Neojet looping around in front of Sanji there. You got to be careful with that. Because he's currently in third, so we don't want any interruptions there for Sanji.
Yeah, and those ramps versus the stairways, obviously a little bit less topography to have to deal with. There's Renlos.
Yeah, so we're
go ahead.
We're on lap 4 now. So we're getting towards the halfway. Once this lap's completed by Sanji, he's halfway. So we are cruising through this track here. We got four teams on lap 4 right now. Initial D, Catcom, Amarok's Fang, and Skyer as well. So they're well ahead of everyone else.
Good moves there. There's our team Eraser from Drunken Turtle making their way through.
We got Herbie in the O's down in 9th position. We'll see if he can reclaim some of those positions. I feel like he might be able to do that.
Yeah, he's just coming in right behind EP10Q or EP1Q, middle of the pack on 3rd lap. So,
yeah, I reckon he'll capitalize here. Actually, get a position.
All right, from Dune Riders
this is interesting.
Stuck in the sand trap or caught on some terrain there.
See, Herbie takes the route that I take. I like that. It makes me feel better about myself and my racing. That's for sure. Look at that. It's overtaken. Nice work. So he's going to move up. I spoke too soon.
Looks like it was a recover. All right. Team Punch Dummies moving up to 6 ahead of Team Tang.
That's nice. He's got a bit of work to do to catch up to the top 4, but it's better than 9th, that's for sure. He's moving up the pack, so keep an eye out for Herbie there. Who we got here? Is this leader? Is this Sanji? I think it is. Yeah,
I think so. And yeah, making a lap up towards Ghost and Coffee. See, they seem a little static.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ghost has been there for a couple of laps now, so might be having some issues.
Hope he brought a suntan.
But right now, yeah. We got one CC, Warp, and Delta out at the moment. We do have Walkerlex, Ghost. We got Dean. They're all kind of not moving right now. So I think that is the teams, isn't it? And iRise. Sorry, there's a fourth one.
iRise is looking like he's stuck trying to complete that last turn. We see Endermaster, Neojet coming in to finish their laps. Herbie, EP1Q in the middle, Renlos. As we see a couple of additional Sanji-sama there, just completing lap number 5.
Over the halfway mark now. Yep. Over the halfway with Sanji in lap 5. We got Vision of Herbie here. This is a nice little shot of the bridges. EP1Q sticking with Herbie, so doing pretty well, considering they just lost one position. Yeah, we'll see if Herbie can gain some distance on this next couple of corners here.
Yeah, SireCatCom registering into laps 5. Oh, there we see Sanji-sama getting Walkie Alex inverted.
Wow.
R/1 SC1 Ghost and Coffee is a DNF, so it's unfortunate.
Dune Riders
also DNF.
Yeah, damn it. They did very well in qualifiers. It was cool hanging out with them. Bummer for them, that's for sure. So wait a minute. So did Sanji just assist? Oh, Sanji's jumping into
Sanji's
a razor
going out
well.
handing assists right and left, trying to get folks inverted as best he can.
That is an interesting choice, being in first place with 2 people right on your tail. That is very interesting.
With some margin, because we've got Sire Racing Team Neojet that's behind him, and Endermaster, who is I think he's got some margin with those racers.
Yeah, crazy. Maybe he's so confident that he's the fastest on the track that he's like, okay, let's add some competition.
It's a long season. Some good karma on race 1 could go a long way.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I like that.
Slow pace up onto the ramp. You see each of these racers just taking it delicately.
All right, Herbie's moved into 5th. So yeah, he's got a bit of.
Herbie looks pretty wide open. So we see Sanji, Pushbringer, getting some folks moving.
Yeah, so a bit of feed. People having difficulties flipping. It looks like the sandbars on a few of those people are the actual issue, which for me makes a lot of sense. That's what they're there for. To be honest, you're supposed to avoid them. But I can see a couple of races on the back end jumping through, especially Sanji's done it every time. Jumping through that last sandbar before the left turn into the final straight. He's going straight through the middle of that sandbar each time. So he has definitely done some testing in that space to make sure that sandbar is safe to cross. It's all about practice. We see this year in, year out. You practice races, succeed almost, year in, year out with their knowledge. And if you do really want to compete, you do need to practice. But Sanji's making a lot of risky choices here. Just lost a position due to one of them. The only problem is Sanji doesn't know who's DNF'd really, unless he's got time to check the live stream here. So he might be wasting his time. Once the DNF's called, we can't revert the DNF. So
yeah, did not did not waste any time with that overtake. So got leading off that group. Entermaster
Yeah, that's
just behind him,
crazy.
though, from Catcom. Walkie
Yep.
Alex now. Walkie Alex, of course, representing from Premier Core Colonial. Getting their second lap started. So finally getting that registered. Probably at the assistance of Sanji Sama with that collision earlier. Getting them started.
Well, yeah, okay. So Walkie is from 1cc. 1cc. Okay, they reverted the DNF. 1cc was DNF'd. They reverted it. It's going to be an interesting conversation. Yeah. Early call on the DNF. Maybe some lessons to be learnt here from people flipped and calling DNFs when they can probably, just wait it out.
Yeah. Giving it some time.
I'm sure there'll be a discussion about that. Yeah.
I'm sure a single point for at least completing the race versus a DNF, which would wipe it to 0.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Every point's worth it for sure. Yeah.
EP1Q on the top side there from Team Tang. They are about to complete the 6th. Herbie, who is also a little bit further ahead. Herbie with Team Punch Zombies for position 5. Looks like pretty solid setup right now. A lot of traffic there on the island, as we see Kibuke Desu, who is representing SPG Racing. We've got Sanji Sama, who's our current lead for Initial D. Walkie Alex for Premier Core Colonial. Endermaster from Catcom. Neojet from Sire Racing. And Prushbringer from Just Prush. It does also look like Dean Kakis, who was War Prom, had initially been called as a DNF. Dean's now moving where he was stuck one of those sound traps.
Yeah, I saw that. I was going to mention that. Yeah, Dean's back up and running. I don't think they called the DNF though. They just kind of waited. They were trying to get back up, which is cool. So yeah, it's going to be interesting here. Walkie's in there with them, kind of, creating some complications for second and third, trying to gain some distance on Sanji, and then Kabuki's probably going to do the same thing to Sanji, which might help them out. So we'll see what happens here. But Sanji's got a commanding lead. He's been bumping races back on. He's had enough time to do that as well as stay in first position. So, that's pretty cool. That's something we don't see very often, which is impressive.
Yeah. Oh, and then let's see, Kebu and a couple of racers colliding in that sand trap. Now, how durable are these STVs? Is this the type of thing you're going to run into potential damage and vehicle destruction if you do too frequently?
Yeah, it depends on the vehicle. STVs clearly not having too much issue with durability. You can tell immediately because Sanji's making the decision to actively bump into races and get them back on. Now, if for such a practice racer, if you knew that your vehicle had durability issues, he probably wouldn't be doing that.
Kebu Kaidesu just went off the side.
It's happened.
And we see
it's happened.
Anreal completing lap 6 from Amarok's Fang. We'll have to see if that is a confirmed.
Yeah, it will be for sure. I guess it could be
SPG Racing.
Yeah,
it could be a decent thing, just a visual, but we'll have to see. Yeah.
There we go. Incident.
Looks like they've called it.
Yeah, bummer for them. See, I hate going down that side, that close to the edge side. It freaks me out. I can't do that. I take that route that Herbie took that we saw earlier on, where there's a little tiny grass strip between two of the sand bunkers on that last straight. That's my preferred position. I'm too nervous about the edge of the platform.
You do that wrong once. So, notes from racing officials is that Kebuku attempted to cut the track by driving into the clouds. And a little traffic jam on the bridge onto the island here. That's going to be tough because there's a lot of terrain they've got to get through. We saw a Razor there who's out of the vehicle on the ground, on foot, I believe. That's from Drunk Control Racing. They had 3 laps completed.
See, this is why I love this track. It's attractive. There's course choices to make. There's there's good obstacles, which makes sense, and yeah, and it's tight, and the positions change, and I don't know. There's a lot going on with this track to make it a long stayer for me. We loved it last year. I'm loving it this year. As long as we're hanging around Crusader and Stanton in future events, then I think it's going to be a bit of a long stay track for me.
There's Dean Kakis, who just completed the first lap, so working on lap number 2. Herbie just behind Team Punch Nobi's now in position 4, lap 7. We see a few folks there. Herbie and Dean working their way at EP1Q. So to get a recap on where our starting grid is at now in placements, Team Punch Nummies with Herbie. They're currently started off first. They're in 4th place right now. Decent positioning. Initial D with Sanji Sama. 2nd place has moved up into 1st. Amrock's Fang in 3rd place. They've dropped down to 7. Anro getting inverted with some struggle. Catcom, Endermaster, who's currently in 3rd place, battling that out. They started in 4th. So everybody taking advantage of Punch Nummies. Herbie getting dropped a little bit. Walkie Alex from Premier Corps Colonial started in position 5, dropped down to position number 9, so losing a little bit of space there. We saw Walkie Alex was inverted, got a little bit of hand. Renee from Test Squadron, they're in lap number 6. Now, I haven't seen much from Renee. She's one of those markers I don't think we've got the overlay for, but we'll keep an eye out for that. Dune Riders, yeah. iRise. They were position 7. They are a DNF, I believe, on lap number 3. And
yeah.
Razor Drunken Turtle.
Yeah, it's interesting because, got a couple of races in there that were definitely flipped and now continue to racing. Punch Nobi's doing well, getting back to 4th. They had a very rough start off the start line with the grid. But now in 4th position, which is very impressive. I think we understood Herbie can race. I think he's just proved that again. Consistent always. Initial D in 2nd. Sanji's lost that 1st position. We've got Neojet up front right now, which is cool. Here we go. We're looking at that vision right now. Herbie's stuck over there. Herbie's not having a good time after just talking about.
See how this is going to work out. A little off the line from most, it looks like. Oh yeah, just a rough transition and on the side fully in one of those gardens.
And that's a fast pace through there, actually. Nice and quick. But it looks like Herbie's got some issues after just talking him up. I think he's stuck. We'll see what happens here. It gives teams a chance to gain some more positions here. We're on the last lap with the top 3. Yeah, who's in front of Neo right now? Is that a lapped contestant?
That's Anril. Really that's Anril from Amrock's Fang.
Okay, gotcha. Neo's going to be happy about this. Is Sanji going to regret his decisions? Is he going to regret them? Be nice to hear about that afterwards.
We see Anril. Who is that? Dean Kakis? All right. Another one of our previously inverted folks.
Yeah. Now, that's interesting. Dean was definitely not moving there, and he's hit 1st place, which is... not that cool, but it's all part of racing, I guess. But could definitely be a tactic.
Yeah. Looking at what these racers are doing right now, we see Neojet, Renlos Malik. So Renlos, who is also another one of those that got kind of stuck. Sanji Sama, kind of behind. Dean Kakis, Endermaster, Walkie Alex. Looks like a vehicle on the lower left side. I'm not seeing a name for that. Might be Sanji. EP1Q.
Yeah, we're coming into the last corner here for Neo. Sanji's not that far behind. If Neo makes a mistake here, Sanji may have a small opportunity. But it's looking good for Neo, to be honest. I think he's going to come around here and take first. Good racing from Neo. Good racing from Sanji. Sanji. Well done, Neo. Sanji making some decisions that may have cost him the lead. Maybe. Nice guys finished last, or second in this case.
Yeah. 5-second difference there. So a couple of points shaved off what could have been a first place finish. We'll see how that works out. Initial D, I think we got Walkie Alex, Premier Corps Colonial. They're on lap 6, going into lap 7. So 5 going into lap 6.
They were technically DNF'd and flipped, and now they're in 8th position. So it's worth sticking in there and trying to get some points. Even if you flipped, you just got to hang in there. Same with any race that we do. Day Morelli's the same. You could have been late to the start line. You could have been disconnected and reconnected, and you could be 10, 15 minutes behind in the Damo Rally, but you can still actually get placement if you just wait to see what happens to the rest of the pack. It's always a bit of a roll of the dice.
Yeah. And of course, we're hearing we're seeing the results, but there's a lot of other discussions going on behind the scenes as these racers are communicating with the race officials, making those live game time decisions as they are. But seeing who else is on the track. Now we know that Herbie was stuck sideways. I think that was on the initial ramp over onto the island. Is that correct?
Yeah, Herbie was on second island. I can't see Herbie's marker. Endermaster also paused, not moving. Currently in third, or at least in the pack for third. So we'll see what happens there. Herbie may actually be able to get a position increase from here and possibly even take third, which is nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah. So Walkie Alex moving up to the bridge here. Again, that first bridge is full of fire cover. You got to go to the far.
Yeah, we'll see. Poor Ender. I feel sorry for Endermaster. Had a dominating racing experience today, but is currently not moving. So close to the finish line. Literally just has to get onto the final straight around one more corner. So close. So let's see what happens. Punch Nomies. Oh my gosh.
Herbie with
insane.
a DNF. Sounds like there was some desync from Dean Kakis that may have punted Herbie. Something happened off camera. We did not catch a view of it, but very unfortunate.
There we go. Amrox Fang. Yeah, Team Tang coming up into fourth. So Endermaster holding third for pretty much the entire race has paused just before the final straight and will not get into the top 3, unfortunately. That must feel very, very painful. Very painful.
Yeah. Got 4 of our teams set up. Remaining on their Team Catcom. That's going to be Endermaster, as you mentioned. Stock Test Squadron. Renee, we've been seeing results from Renee from Test Squadron, but haven't seen the name up on camera there. And you see Walkie Alex going left there. That's risky. Where we saw the previous launch from Kebu.
Okay, EP1Q needs to move off that near that star line. Oh yeah, they have. Good.
Walkie Alex Premier Corps Colonial going into their final lap, trying to get that 5th position. Still open with Catcom. I'm not sure where Renee's at from Test Squadron.
Yeah, we don't really have vision on Renee, do we? But
there is a marker is good for test. On the island down there. There's a marker moving across the track. So that could just be a missing player name.
Yep. Good call. Here we got Prush coming in here.
Just Prush. They're getting their 7th lap.
Yep, still racing. Still racing. AWA, who was flipped for a long time, is now on the final straight coming here. They are currently in Tats, currently on fifth lap, about to be on 6th lap. So still a few laps to go. We have a top 3, but there's still plenty more points to be gained.
And these, of course, affecting the standings going into race number 2 as well. The grid is going to be based on final positioning here. And now with the DNFs, of course, taking into account race progress and DNF time called. So we'll keep an eye on where those end up. Of course, a number of racers unhappy with getting inverted and the process there. So obviously, that's why there's 7 races, 7 opportunities for it.
Yeah. Yeah, although interesting, all the races that were flipped have been able to continue. So yeah, that's great. I can't remember what happened with Delta Dietis. Did they flip and not wait, or what happened to them?
Czech League may have crashed and exploded. That was, I think, the initial, the first call we had. Their vehicle just got destroyed. So yeah, inverted or not, if it's exploded, they're probably done.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so.
See Renlos.
There we go. Right. Renee is over for 5th. They'll be happy about that for sure. That's a pretty good result considering where they were. So, yeah, a lot of unfortunate things to happen for people in the mid-pack, currently in the mid-pack, who some of them are not continuing to race. Ender's still stuck there. Still have the opportunity to possibly finish, but we'll wait and see. If the races aren't moving by the time all other races have completed, there will be an automatic DNF, and the race will be over. But we'll see if they can get up and running before the end of the race.
Yeah. And last couple of views here. Walkie Alex from Premier Corps Colonial still has 1 more lap to complete after this, but I'm feeling a lot better. Spent some time inverted off of the initial. And yeah, this final stretch right here, going a little too far left, is what caused Quebecu to launch off the side earlier. That's
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, that's a nerve-wracking line for sure.
Sure is. It's not the line I'd take. It's not the line I do take, actually. There is that little strip down the middle of those bunkers. I love that. It's you can hit it pretty cleanly.
Get a look here of Renlos Malik from
in the bunker
racing. It doesn't look like he's moving at all.
No. AWA doing well, coming back on their 6th lap, about to become their 7th. Prush coming in too. Yeah, once you see you doing well, yeah, they were flipped. They were out. They thought they were out.
Mm-hmm.
Now back in 7th, which is insane. So,
yeah, some persistence helping for sure.
Yeah, you need patience.
3
with this
teams
game,
on their final. 3 teams on their final lap. 2 of those are moving. Catcom with Endermaster, of course. Just the finish line is right there. That's got to just be so frustrating. Drunken Turtle on lap number 7, so they'll have another lap to complete after this. Punch Nomi, 7 laps with the DNF. SPG Racing, that was Kebu, who we saw launch off of the side. Warprom, their team, Dean Kakis, is still out and running. Dean spent a good chunk of the first part of this race inverted. He's only on lap 4. Renlos Racing, we saw Renlos, who was in the sand trap, kind of stuck. Dune Riders, iRise, we have not seen status on. I think iRise crashed and exploded. So r/SC1, Ghost and Coffee.
Yeah.
I've seen Ghost and Coffee disconnected. I think they dried.
Yeah, I haven't seen them. I haven't seen their blip for a little while, so that sounds accurate.
And of course, Delta Diotis, the crash and explosion right off of the bat. Random desync and collision or something else going on just caused their vehicle to self-destruct.
Yeah, this is going to be a very different race to the next one. Dust Hustle, obviously, in a different vehicle experience with the Mule. It's kind of a top-heavy kind of experience, but also narrow racing straights, which is also going to be interesting. So, if you get a bit of a lead and the pack splits up, they should be okay. But it's a little bit different to this. It's like a lot of straights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple of curves and a pretty well-defined track that won't have as much terrain and really artifacts. They've got fire cover scattered throughout this platform, again being part of the Siege of Orison combat event. So you're seeing these barricades and ramparts throughout. Less of that to look through and navigate around. And we just saw Walkie Alex from Premier Court Colonial log in their final 6th place position. So feeling pretty good there. We see Endermaster still stuck. Brenlo still stuck. Pushbringer, who's about to finish up, coming in for that final run.
Yeah, 1cc just finishing up too, getting like 6th position. Were on their roof, thought they were DNF'd, and now they got a 6th position, which is a lesson for everybody. Just keep racing.
Keep racing. See what happens. There's still opportunities to get out there. So Pushbringer, just Push getting 7th place. Got to feel good about that.
Yep. Yes, AWA should be able to reclaim this position for 8th. Unless Endermaster gets going within this next lap. They'll also be happy about that too, because they were stuck for a bit on the 2nd island. So, everyone who's stuck is getting mid-pack points, which is pretty great. So, yeah.
Yeah. Drunken Turtle getting into lap number 8. Dean Kakis moving around for Warp Realm. Still 3 or 4 laps to go on that backside. So it could have been a little bit of movement from Endermaster. Maybe a little from Renlos, but that could just be desync.
We got Misty there on cameras too. Shout out to Misty. Great camera operator. Looks like we have a Polaris down on the 2nd island. Not intruding on the track, fortunately, but don't know who that is.
Curious bystander who doesn't appreciate frame rate drops.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Dean Kakis moving there.
Looks like they're going to bring their own bridge with the Polaris there. Good crossover, because Volcano Lake, we use that exact system. We use the Polaris with both ramps down. We create a bridge. There's a whole bunch of islands on the back end of that track, and there's one spot where we can drop a bridge down to connect it all. It's pretty crazy actually, because there's really only that one spot that we can do it. Everything else is disconnected. So yeah,
multiple strategies on that bridge transit last year. One of which involved a tractor beaming the vehicle over the top rather than worry about the ramps and the physics collision, just walking with a tractor beam. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
Passing that through, which was a legal maneuver, right?
Yeah, well, last year wasn't listed on the table for penalties. It won't be a legal thing to do this year. Everyone should be doing the same thing. We're trying to keep it as competitive as we can in this game state, which isn't easy to do. But as long as we can keep everything very similar for each racing team, we'll try and keep it as competitive as we can. So the rules need to be abided by every racer, and we try to keep everyone doing the same thing just to kind of keep that competition alive.
Mm-hmm. We saw a Razor giving us a good look of where Endermaster got hung up at.
Yeah, well, Razor's just overtaken Endermaster, which means that they're going to probably take this 8th position here away from them.
Surviving the sand.
Feel sorry for Ender. they're in third for so long. So unfortunate, mate. Unfortunate. See the sun going down a little bit, mate. It's going down. Starting to get a bit of a sunset vibe.
Yeah.
Before we finish up here,
scenes you'll see on Orison is the sunset through the clouds. This gas giant.
Yep.
They did a fantastic job getting that type of aesthetic.
Yep, agreed. There we go. He's done it. He's taken over. All right.
And Renlos is currently inverted. Endermaster is inverted. We have one active racer, Dean Kakis, who is from Team Warprom with on lap 6. Still got to complete 2.5 on the island right now, making their way through.
Yeah, if Dean wraps this up and any of the overturned racers can't get their vehicles back and running, the race will end and they will take their current position based on lap time and distance as their seated position for this race.
All right, taking that cautiously over the bridge through some of the ramparts and the terrain. And that has to be a factor for overall performance of the area, right? A very densely populated with these, kind of interesting assets, but kind of your non-standard texturizing that you're laying on top of the regular terrain.
Yeah, the pathing still works pretty well. The included assets don't really affect the track too much, which is fortunate because there's definitely a clear path. As you come off the second bridge, and if you were to turn right, which we don't do, but if you were to turn right, that pathing is very, very difficult. This pathing is more fun anyway. There's a bigger straight, but you still, there's definite pathway when those assets are included. Dean, struggling midway on that chicane there. I can't see any movement from anyone else at this point. I think Dean's going to be the last one to cross the line for today, or for this race, not for today. We have race 2 coming up shortly.
Looks like
that is a decision I would probably also make. Let's go.
Trying to get Endermaster inverted enough to continue. Now, this is a risk because Dean was having some desync issues. But look at that.
There we go. Did Ender leave?
Some discussions happening there.
Ender's good.
Yeah, Dean with some desync there. We saw them get set, and Dean moved along.
All right, Ender's going to race here. Let's go. Will he take this position from Dean? Let's do a morality check here. Is Ender just going to sit behind Dean and appreciate the fact that Dean's flipped him, or is he going to race for real and overtake him and reclaim some points?
Well, I think one of the problems here again is that Dean has been desyncing pretty
heavily,
pretty badly. So our what we're seeing here and what Endermaster might be responding to may also not actually be what's live happening on the track. So we'll need to confirm how that looks.
Very true. Ender's not dealing with that desync anymore. Ender's don't going to take any risks and looks like he's going to wrap up his laps. Oh, yep. Taking that safe path away from that edge. And Ender gets to finish the race today, which is very nice. Gaining one more position thanks to Dean.
Making that final turn into the finish line.
Also showing how fast Ender is. Yeah, very fast on that back end. Thank you, Dean. You're going to get some DMs, I'm sure, from the team at Catcom.
All right. Dean making his way up and through. Wrapping that up now. Renlos was still there in the sand trap, probably far enough. I'm not sure if Renlos got moving.
All right, if we can get a look at the map from Foxy's position, I don't think anyone else is moving. Damn. Foxy's DC'd. Just going to get some reports here. I think we're going to wrap this race up. I don't think anyone else is progressing. Endermaster would have been one to watch, thanks to Dean. Ender's flipped. Dean is still racing though, correct? Warp Rom still has another 2 laps.
Yeah, looks like that is the case.
Yep, that makes sense. All right, cool. Well, we're gonna watch Dean's last attempts here. Probably can be a little bit more careful and take these corners. But the desync looks incredibly difficult for Dean right now, and maybe well affecting their position. So for those of you unfamiliar with desync, desyncs, obviously where yep. There's a perfect example of desync. There you go. I don't need to explain anything else.
From our perspective and the race camera perspectives, the movement is very splotchy. It's very sporadic. So they are moving from their perspective. It's just the game server communication is not registering each of their movements. And when it does start to register, it catches up in strange ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we saw this at qualifier too, right? With that on the slalom straight, with one of I can't remember the race's name, but everyone was like, "Whoa, what happened there?" And they pretty much did a whole length of the track.
Was NeoJet.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So interesting. Yeah, as your client tries to decide what their client had been doing.
Okay, we've got some information that Renlos has now flipped back on, and we have 2 races continuing to finish the course today. So Renlos is back up and running, which is cool.
Nice.
Which is cool.
Renlos getting it sorted. Of course, Renlos.
Well, while these 2 teams, sorry, man.
Go ahead.
While these two teams are finishing off this track, I'm guessing the back end ops team is starting to prepare for race 2. And that should be all happening, so we can kind of speed up the transition between the 2 of the races today. But yeah, we just got Renlos and Dean here to finish this one off. I don't know if you want to put up race 2, Enigmatic. We have a brief chat about that, and we can hang on to these last 2 laps. Get ready for this next one. All right, race 2 is coming up soon. We've got 2 races still finishing race 1. We'll come back to them in a minute. But just a heads up for anyone who's watching today, we are doing 2 races today. This one is up next. Please keep in mind the first corner and the last corner actually go outside those cylinders now. We've made an update based on terrain. Like we said, you got a lot of straights, and you got 2 tricky U-turn corners in the middle of the course there, mirrored. So it's a big mirrored track. And it's that's coming up next. And we've got 12 laps of that with the Mule, 4x4 grid again. And that's not too far away.
Yeah. And of course, positioning on that 4x4 grid determined by standings after this race 1. So a couple of those teams with the DNFs, a couple of the teams that are still out there waiting for Dean. Uh-oh. That there's a wheel. There's a wheel that's gone somewhere.
Yep, there's a wheel missing. That's a straight up DNF. Who is that?
I think that's Dean.
Dean, yeah. Broken vehicle, ooh. Dean. Sorry, bro. That ain't gonna get.
That does not look like desync. That those wheels are disappearing one by one. Oh,
well, Dean did something good and got Endermaster back up and running, so I'm sure they appreciate that, mate. All right, we got a replay here. We're gonna recap that in a second.
Yes, we observe.
But we've still got those issues there with Dean, which leaves Renlos with still a fair amount of laps to go. So
and Renlos is still confirmed as flipped, and no one's able to continue and flip him back over. So he may be actually stuck now.
We might be done. We might have completed this race today. Let's just get some confirmations
like the
on
moment from Dean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitting over that corner with the wheel popping off.
Yep, boom. Well, we'll just get some ops confirmations on Renlos and Dean, and they're both race 1 is complete. Just got confirmation. Race 1 is complete. So let's bring up those final standings and have a chat about who's done well in this race 1 before we move to race 2.
As we watch Dean make his way on foot towards the exit.
Yeah. There we go. We've got that leaderboard there. So NeoJet with Sky Racing coming in first. Sanji with Initial D. Very dominant for the majority of the race, but ended up in second. Which is it was the first 3 did really well. Unfortunately, Endermaster in third for almost the entire race. It was on the second last corner. And didn't get a chance to do it. And then we got Anrel coming in with Amarox for third position. So they're our top 3, and they're going to gain the best pole positions for race 2. And this is all wrapped up. So the team's got to get ready for race 2, and everyone's going to get transported. We're in the same system at least, but we are going to move over to Hurston for race 2.
Yeah, off to the dust hustle. So this one is going to be 12 laps with a Drake Mule. As we see,
bit of fun.
Dean taking the express route, running I'm not sure if that's desync as well. Definitely appreciating his descent. So yeah, 12 laps on the dust hustle, the 4x4 starting grid based on the current positions. A lot of folks hopefully seeing a little bit less complicated terrain over around this Hurston distribution center, giving themselves some opportunity for redemption on race day 1, coming up on race number 2.
Yeah, as we go, as we move on to race 2, the teams are moving into position and getting transported. We do have some preparation pre-done, obviously, because we've had a fair amount of races been able to hold off while they're waiting for the rest of this race to complete. But they'll start getting the rest of the races over to Hurston for the dust hustle and over at Hurston, and then we'll get that underway shortly. What were some of your highlights, Red, for that race?
Really, Sire Racing team getting the finish there. NeoJet spectacular qualifying incident. The desync we saw in the qualifiers, not a problem. They were able to handle that. Obviously, the heartbreak for Team Herbie getting launched with a desync, and our favorite coming into race 1, which was really tough. I would say Sanji Sama with Initial D really coming in with the feel-good story of the race, helping out a few of those racers on kind of the earlier laps where it wasn't as much separation, potentially giving himself a 5-second delay, which was the difference between first and second position here, getting that set up. Catcom, obviously Andermaster getting stuck was a pretty heartbreaking setup there, but going through, getting that locked in. And of course, a handful of our racers, several that just could not finish the race because of terrain and other issues, which was pretty unfortunate. So, and there we see Sanji Sama helping with some of the inversions.
Yeah, agreed. I guess the front pack held on kind of towards the end. Endermaster, unfortunately, having that issue on his final lap. But Ender held first. After that, I really liked the start. The grid split up, which was interesting because it put Herbie way back into like 9th or 10th. But Ender took the lead for quite some time, and the fight between Endermaster, Neojet and Sanji was real for quite some time. Sanji taking the lead, after a couple of laps, but then making the decision to support the other racing teams by attempting to flip them while in first position and assisting some of those teams to flip back up and continue to race. It may have cost Sanji the lead because he ended up finishing in second for initial D, and giving Neojet the opportunity possibly to overtake and take first position, with poor Ender sitting back on the last lap, having to watch the other teams pass for pretty much the whole race. And then, Kabuki jumping off the track there. We talked about that beforehand, so it was good to see. Thanks, Kabuki.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if Herbie did officially get launched off of the side of the platform or if it was just a complete inversion of the vehicle. But that was unfortunate. We were, as bad as it feels to say it, I also did think it was pretty cool to watch. So sorry about that, Kabuki, with the ditch there. But a 7-point spread for Sanji Sama, but maybe pulling in some good karma off of race one for helping get some of those other racers inverted. Definitely going to be a story that we look out for, whether that's going to cost them long run or not. It's too early to tell. We got race one down, and of course our points being distributed, being tallied up. We've got some folks that are happy about their positioning on the leaderboard at this point, and some folks that are hungry to make up for maybe the bad karma or the bad performance on the server side not cooperating. So that is everybody's subject to the same type of performance with these races, and we'll be hopefully seeing race number 2 coming up here shortly, and see how they're able to turn around that performance. 7 races total, 7 scores they can put in.
Yeah, having 2 races per day really, helps you understand where you sit in the points pretty quickly. You do race 1 and 2 on day 1, and almost a third of the way through the tournament. But obviously, a lot can change within the 2 weeks. But it does give you a bit of an idea of where you might be sitting for maybe a fair chunk of the tournament. That was I really enjoyed that, like usual. I thought we were going to be hanging out for a few more laps there with Dean and Renlos, but they both ended up DNFing pretty quickly. It's a good track. I really like it, and hopefully we'll see it next year return.
All right.
Cool. All right. Awesome, Red. So we're going to move on to race 2 with Dust Hustle. We just kind of had a brief look at, what that's going to look like for races coming up. We're running the Mule, and you got any track notes on that one, mate?
For the Dust Hustle. All right. So the location here in Hurston, the Kovalex Distribution Center. These were added a few patches ago, but a really nice industrial footprint there. You see we've got large silos, some platforms and landing pads. Our observing teams are going to be on the landing pads within the silo here, with our racers making the loop around the front. So you see the nose of this facility with those stacks, the silos off to the wings on the right and left. The race itself is going to be doing 12 laps around this distribution center with the Drake Mule. So a little slower ground speed overall. You can see kind of the wing silos. Now, initially, the map did show that you could cut between those silos. That terrain is difficult. That terrain is also unpredictable and is a pretty big risk. So the official race map has been expanded outward, so that you clear outside of those silos altogether. You got to come in through those smokestacks on the front, and of course on the corners as you're going out towards that point of the facility. You do have to run a loop on that inner corner. So it is 12 laps. It's going to be the longest race we've got for the day, and endurance is going to matter a little bit. So.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. Some great footage there from Esper and the team, and love these little clips they put together. As we're getting some VO work on the recap video too, which is really cool. Got to hang out with Esper back in Sydney in February, which was lovely. Always good to see the team. And we'll be showing a bit more of his footage throughout the course of the season. As you can see, yes, it's a bit more of a different mood. Hurston does not have that clean air experience that Crusader has. So we got a bit of smog, got a bit of dust, we got a bit of brown. Everything's brown. Everything's gray and brown. So prepare yourselves for that.
Gray.
Yep. Exactly. So like Red was saying, we've got a different driving experience here. The mules are coming through, and we've got a few straights. We've got we got 2 U-turn positions in the middle, kind of mirrored on both sides of the course. And also, like we said, as the map shows, we're going to go on the outside of those cylinders to make a pretty symmetrical looking track. It's going to be interesting. Now, while we're waiting for the teams to get onto the grid, we might take a look at some of the upcoming maps, especially for next race day. Let's have a look at some of those.
Yeah, so coming up today, we're doing races 1 and 2. Race number 3 happening on April 18th is the Levski Helix. This is a 0G race with the Mirai Pulse, 218 meters per second top speed. I think this is going to be the fastest race we've got. Everything else is Arena Commander or ground-based. So there are going to be 10 laps going through this in a 2x8 starting grid at the bottom of that central column in the Levski landing zone. So racers will start there. They'll head up through the column, down that cargo arm, underneath, and then back up and around. So a lot of flipping and turning, and of course, running that 10 times on one of these bikes is going to be really interesting because there's some tight clearances there. Expect maybe a couple of collisions. 10 laps with that type of starting grid. It's going to start off pretty compressed, and within a couple of laps, I expect to see that spread out a little bit more. That's happening as race 1 on April 18th. So 2 weeks from now. And 3 weeks from now.
And then we have Dead Man's Hook, which is going to be an Arena Commander experience for the team. So, we should be able to spawn that grid a little bit quicker than the 2 PU events we have running this week. This is a heat-based lap, so we're doing 4 races at a time. This is a pretty fast track. It's all on water, so the land area is technically off-limits boundary and easy to use the nature as that off-limits boundary. But we're running through a few coves here on Winner's Circle as you spawn in. And then the track gets its name from the hook that they have to perform. So they go through a little valley of islands, still on a riverbed, through to a small island that they get to circle around and then come back out the same way they come. So it's going to be a little bit tricky for incoming and outgoing races, trying to avoid collision in that space. So you need to be careful in that area. But as you come out of Dead Man's Hook, you come back onto a nice big straight that bends around to the start line. So this is a new track for this season, and another Gravlev track. So it's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, this Dead Man's Hook is a very interesting one. It's a heat-based race. It's all going to be over water. There are some land-based sections of the terrain, but they're enforcing the track, right? We got to be on the over water. Going over the land-based areas is a penalty for the timing. That specific corner, those channels we've got that are really going to funnel people in. These vehicles are fast, and you're going to be going directly opposite somebody else who might be on that same path. So you're going to have to watch out for that. Coming up for race day number 3, that's going to be in Pyro. So we've got 2 locations in the Persistent universe. The first is that Marshfire Ridge we talked about. This is a standard 2x8 starting grid that will be 2 laps on the Alpoa Nox. Now, The terrain here is going to be the real highlight. One of my favorite planets in Star Citizen. So there's Marshfire Ridge racing through the valleys. We've got to stay below the cliff lines. This is going to be done on the Alpoa Nox, which is the fastest potential vehicle. Now, ground-based here in atmosphere, in gravity, we'll have to see how that can perform. But there's some good straightaways. This is a little, it looks like a longer track, definitely with a little bit more terrain that you're crossing. So that'll be an interesting one to look out for, and that is race number 1 on Saturday, April 25th.
Yeah, that's also the one that we're adding the pit lane to. We've done a little updated map version on that, which will be ready probably for next race week. But there's a pit lane on the inside of the track as you come up to the start-finish line. So they'll have one opportunity to use that, being that it's endurance. I'm trying to remember the exact kilometers, but it's basically like Daymar Rally length endurance, but because it's the because it's Gravlev, it's still a fast experience as far as endurance goes. But they will be racing around Bloom for quite some time, so they do have a high risk of damaging the vehicle and taking some damage. So there's going to be the pit lane on that end of the first lap, so you can make a decision to pit, repair, and continue. Teams will be able to use their team members as a pit lane crew as well for the first time, which is going to be interesting and fun to watch. So we'll see how teams utilize the pit lane going into that.
Yeah, definitely giving off Phantom Menace pod racing vibes with this, the Gravla vehicles and that distance. It's going to be an interesting one. So that's Marshfire Ridge. Next for that day is Jackson's Gauntlet. This is going to be a heat-based race. Now, this is the old map. We talked about the terrain being updated with the 4.7 release. So a little bit of a redraw on the specific path, but this is going to be with the Drake Mule. This will be a heat-based race with 3 laps per heat. Again, teams having an opportunity to score an additional point for the fastest lap. And as you mentioned, the Drake Mule, a little 6-wheeled vehicle there, handles very well. It's just kind of a stumpy little vehicle. We'll see that in race 2 as we get on through it the rest of the day today. But an exciting one. This one again. The terrain is going to be a big factor with it updating in 4.7. Teams haven't had as much time to practice on this, but it's going to be an interesting one. They have until April 25th to get things nailed down, though. So,
yeah, we should. I'll produce a new version of the map this week, so we should have that out pretty quickly. But like Red was saying, and I mentioned earlier in the stream, this is a complete terrain rebuild from Star Citizen. So even though we only just made this course, from 4.6 to 4.7, the terrain is drastically different. Trees everywhere now, when there wasn't really that many trees, if any. And the rock formations here are completely different. As you come around to the midpoint of the lap, that canyon is gone, basically, and there's a more of a sandy-based settlement, which we're going to use. But yeah, it's still similar as far as length and route direction and whatnot. But you'll see some heavy updates to that visual experience on that map. So yeah, I think we're going to have a chat about the last map, the final Volcano Lake, which is a returning map. And check that one out.
Yeah. So we saw this last year with the Polaris Bridge as we get moved over into the Race 7 map. A very long single lap. It's going to be a 4x4 grid, starting off with the RSI Lynx and then transitioning to the Cyclone RC. With the vehicle swap at that checkpoint 1, and then we see on the back half there, that bridge, there's a Polaris with the ramps extended to create a bridge between 2 of these islands on that far side. A very unique feature of this map, one that we saw a lot of different strategies last year. We had some folks just went for the full send, crossed it as quickly as they could. That other folks who went for a more conservative approach, instead of opting to get out of their vehicle, use the tractor beam to carry it across. course, race rules are going to change each year, so they'll need to make sure that whatever they're aiming for is going to be legal for this year. And then, finishing through the arch, the best time we've seen was about an hour and 26 minutes. So, of course, when you get into that second half with the Cyclone RC, you're going to need to watch your character's health, hydration, nutrition levels to avoid having an issue there with with your overall health status. So, keeping your character status topped off.
Yeah, 100%. I really love this track. I actually did actually design this track myself, and using the water as a boundary. The terrain itself is actually pretty fun to traverse. The Lynx is performing really well this year versus the Cyclone. So we'll see. The Cyclone still travels fine. It just feels really rigid and it feels like it's on a bit of a rail, but we're still going to keep it in because that's the tradition of this course. We have switched. This is only the second final track that we've had, and by that I mean we had a track designed before this one which was based around Hurston, and we always try to include multiple vehicles for the final. In the previous course, the Lawville circuit that we had, there was every second gate you'd have to stop in at and switch to a different vehicle, so we had upwards of I think 4 on that track, and you would circumnavigate Lawville by the gates and come all the way back around. So that was our previous course, and we've replaced it with this one, Volcano Lake, using 2 vehicles. As you can see, as you start and head around the lake before checkpoint 1, it's all very similar terrain. There is some interesting choices on a couple of those bends, but it's good racing. There's plenty of opportunity for racers to compete against each other fairly. I really enjoy the actual driving experience. It looks great. And then as you get into checkpoint 1 and switch to the Cyclone, after checkpoint 1, the terrain changes to a much more island format. You've got to make some decisions on the island routes that you choose. As we saw last year, a lot of races after checkpoint 2 were getting lost. They, once again, if you've practiced the course and you've found a route, that's the best thing you can do for yourself is find a decent island route. Otherwise you can get turned around and lost because you kind of head north to kind of come south. So it's difficult.
We saw one team on that peninsula between checkpoint 2 and the island bridge ended up getting fully turned around all the way back to the bridge before they realized they were heading the wrong direction. As you mentioned, from the start up to checkpoint 1, that entire loop, you're hugging the edge of that lake, but it is worth noting you don't want to go too close to that edge. You want to give yourself a little bit of a line because there are little pockets, small little inlets and such that may complicate your route if you're trying to hug it too closely. So we saw a couple of teams try to take a couple of different routes. Some going a little bit wider, just to make sure that they were fully clear, and others that were really hugging that line very closely and having to deal with a little bit more complex terrain at the water's edge. So,
yeah, definitely. And just a couple more notes on this track. As you can see on the kind of first leg before checkpoint 1, on the opposite side of checkpoint 1, there's like a bit of a mountain there that you go around. You can actually choose to go on the inside of that, but from my racing and practice, it's extremely risky. You can end up in the water there, so that's why the map shows that curvature. But you can make some choices there because the lake is the boundary, not so much the course route that's pictured. So just a little bit of a note there for racers if they're interested in testing out that path, but I probably wouldn't recommend it so much. But yeah, see how you go. Also, as you come up to the corner to get that dead straight line across to CP1 from the north of the track, you can get lost there too because you've always had a lake on your left, and then as you leave that area, you don't have a lake on your left anymore. It's kind of very easy to get thrown. You don't have that constant navigational marker anymore. You've got to get to checkpoint 1 without that. So yeah, there's some tricky parts to the race. It's cool, and it does have an endurance kind of level to it as well. But yeah, the bridge and CP2 are literally the only 2 places you can cross. in the island area. So it's surprising that even those locations are available to us to make this track even available. So it's pretty cool. I like it.
Good stroke of luck there. So the racers are working on getting set up for race number 2, the Dust Hustle over at Hurston. We're going to be heading over to an ad break briefly, but they should be ready for a race start about 15 minutes from now. So stick around to watch race number 2 of System 7, the Dust Hustle. We'll be back with you after these ad messages.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle, fueled by dedication. It is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line, one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 7 2956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Verbal Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair. Unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in Stream Deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line, one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 7 2956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Verbal Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair, unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in Stream Deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line in one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. So yeah, we got a few things to kind of show you from our recent sponsors and also from our recent event, EA 56. Yeah, we recently did our event EA 56. And everyone got like their little holo badge with all the sponsors on the back there, and we did the challenge coins, which look really cool. Let me just get that up there. They look really awesome. So still got a few of these available, but they look great. So yeah, we got those as well. We've also got a couple of things from our sponsors. I do actually have some stuff from the event here. We've got a couple of Galleon 100 SD keyboards with the actual Stream Deck on it, which is super nice. And it has like this really nice weight to it. Like it feels so solid. And they've done a lot more work on the back. Even on the Xenon Edge that I bought recently, has kind of like this this back design as well in some form. They've kept the branding across everything. But yeah, everyone who's used the Corsair keyboard before knows how good they are. So it's really easy. But obviously they've... Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's got a couple of dials on there too, right? You've got a combination of buttons, a display pad, and dials. What does that look like?
It's all adjustable. Yeah, correct. So what have we got? Here's my camera. So yeah, the dials, they are optional. So you can actually, with your software, you can choose what everything does, which is cool. So even like a backlay image, it's completely adjustable. And awesome. Teaming up with Elgato, obviously, because the partner companies now, they've been able to get this involved. So it's very cool. It's very cool. Icon City as well, previous sponsor, they got packs for that as well. What else do we have? At the event, we also had our friend Lens Nation draw up some of these beautiful designs for our shirts too.
Love
so they're still available.
Artwork.
Yeah, dude's a legend. I got to meet him in person for the first time. But we've got 4 different varieties on this design. There's the Pulse, there's the Lynx, there's the Gladius, there's the F8 as well. So there's quite a few there. Looks really good. I do have one more thing here. It's very large, so I'll try and come back a little bit. But this is the Pigeon
Oh
Spaceport
yeah.
Scorpius model, right? So they come in this beautiful box. It's got like an engraved Scorpius wording here, which you can't really see too much on the stream. But they come, whoops, I just dropped everything. They come out like this. I'll try and do this on stream. And you open this up, you take this out, and you get Scorpius sits in there all nice and well packed. So everything's very well packed. All the design's really nice. Comes with some artwork and graphic stuff as well. But they're beautiful. Smells good too. Cool. So yeah, we've been busy, working with sponsors and at EA56, we've got a chance to showcase a lot of those items and bits and pieces, but we work hard in the background to kind of make all this happen with our merch and our partners' merch. So, plenty to get some deals on at the moment using our code at any of those providers. So, and then we've also got Red's wearing some of our stuff that's on sale at the moment as well with the System 7 merchandise. Yeah.
Yeah, very comfortable System 7 jersey here. Some Drake, the tumbrel, even on the back, embroidered with printed with your name on there. So got my custom, wear this around just in case people don't know who I am. But yeah, a nice, comfortable jersey here. The System 7 color scheme matches my preferences. It's a nice black and red, kind of a cool grid design to it. So yeah, I like it. Been sporting it for my System 7 commentating. So yeah.
Yeah, red works for you, bro. I'm also wearing the EA56 jersey that we had for the event, which you got at the event, but that's not on the site itself. But I'm actually don't have a System 7 jersey right now because my old ones are too small for me. So I'm sporting the green and gold from Australia that we used as the color scheme for the jersey, being that it was in Sydney. So yeah, there's always something going on at ATMO Esports with merchandise and whatnot. So feel free to check it out at atmo.sc/merch. You can go and have a look at all of that. Cool. What else is going on, guys?
Sounds like the racers are standing by for countdown. So we can talk through a little bit as we get to some live views of the races. Again, the update based on positioning for this race. For positioning based on race 1. So we are looking here at the broadcast. Let's see, Space Tech, Angry Chisel, Orenlo Smiley, Balsamic. We see Seraphi, Whitehawk, Dean Kakis, Shugo the Lucky One, Panza, quite a lot of names in there, Anril as well.
Yeah, we got a few different names. A few different members of the team have switched in to race for race 2. So, for instance, Herbie's on the bench for this one, and Shugo is in for Herbie. So that's happened across a few of these teams. We can see, obviously, pole position from the previous race 1 times have affected this grid. And we have a little bit of a different layout compared to race 1 based on the results. So we are just preparing. We've had one racer crash out, so just give us a moment and we will have that racer back up and running in no time, and then we can get this underway. But honestly, setup time for this race pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them. I'm often in the ops team. Usually, obviously not on casting. I don't even remember the last time I cast. I think I've casted maybe twice. I did the Daymar Rally early on. I did a System 7 one. I think I don't know when, but yeah, not much.
But I will say you've been doing just fine. You're doing great.
Oh, thanks, mate. My anxiety has gone, and now that we're into it, so it's totally fine.
And we've got the
Crucian had to rebook his body waxing appointment. That's why he can't be here today. So I'm just filling in for him. Happy to do that. I know body waxing is extremely important for Crucian and his wife. So we're not too far away from the start time, but hope it's not too painful for you, mate.
Yeah, and just recapping on the starting grid, front left there we see Ricky Tiki from Sire Racing Team, the Polar Duck from Initial D, Amarok's Fang, Anril up there, Slump KH4 from Team Tang, that's the first row, Empty Kamikaze from Test Squadron, Luche from Premier Corps Colonial, Prushbringer from Just Prush, AAWA Ponza from Drunken Turtle, That's our second row. Balsamic, Shugo the lucky one, Dean Kakis, and Whitehawk in row 3. We're getting the final 10-second countdown. 9,
3,
8,
2,
7,
1. Go.
Oh, there
Ship
we
up,
go. And you look at the handling on these already.
Yep, agreed. Even the DC
good performance.
better.
Yeah. Oh, we see Kamikaze coming far left there. Getting a little off track.
I have some high hopes for Kamikaze this round. So although that was a very dangerous maneuver.
Pile up right there.
Kamikaze just called that. Kamikaze by nature, Kamikaze by name. Crazy.
What a corner there. All right, so we've got the Polar Duck from Initial D, who looks like he's up in is that first position? Yeah, he is first. I bet you that's Ricky Tiki right behind him. Player marker has disappeared for that one. Yeah, Tiki, quite a big pile up.
That's a passionate racer. He's a passionate racer, Ricky. You get a lot of feedback from Ricky. You love it. He's very involved in feedback and everything to do with racing. Very, very active member in the community. So yeah, first corner here, first U-turn. Oh God! That's what it's built for.
Going to be a challenge. Yeah, that U-turn, kind of an equalizer. And those these mules, they're sturdy, but man, that is.
It didn't even move. The Polar Duck just took it and kept going. Crazy.
Polar Duck, Luce there.
Yeah. So we have a nighttime environment, right? We got a bit of rain, a bit of darkness. So a different experience for the races this time around. But this course is fun, man. I've already enjoyed watching those first two straights and the U-turn. It's a completely different vibe, but we got set up pretty quick. I'm pretty happy with setup time.
Yeah, maybe we'll get an opportunity to see some of the new lamp feature in action. Of course, that night vision mode that CIG is starting to implement. This is our second of the 270 turns that we see teams crossing back and forth. Ricky Tiki,
that is the best.
The Polar Duck getting wrapped up, and that's not quite. Oh, that's Luce. Luce from Premier Court Colonial comes out in front.
1cc. Yep. Well, Polar Duck took 2 hits from those 2 U-turns. Pretty unfortunate. Ricky lined him up good on that second one.
Yeah. And watching the lines there, that initial rejoin from Kamikaze, living up to the name for sure. But got to be a couple people out there cursing him as they make their approach here. So that is Luce, the Polar Duck, Ricky Tiki. Luce coming in from 6th position off of the starting grid. We see, let's see, Space Tech might be part of the, Space Tech from Delta Diatus, Balsamic from Catcom, Whitehawk from SPG. We see
Luce getting fastest lap. Be interesting to see what Space Tech does this round for Delta Diatus. We haven't really seen their capabilities yet. They had an auto qualify and they had an early DNF in race 1. So they really need to place on this race. Otherwise, they're going to be on the back foot from the get-go. So honestly, this track's fun, man. I enjoy watching it already. Zool made an initial version of this track, and Dexter's done a revisit. So I haven't actually personally done a lot of racing on this new version of the track. I've done the other 4 or so that we've recently built, but I want to race it. It looks fun. It's still very similar. Those U-turns are included. Those straights are included. It's still very, very similar to the original Zool track. It looks fun.
Yeah, Luce up onto the ramp here, coming onto the 270 turn. Around the Polar Duck. Might collide with Ricky Tiki. We'll see if they time that. Yeah, they're
Ricky's
good there.
Okay.
A little separation.
Yeah, Polar's over that. He's done with those corners, I'm sure. But yeah, Luce's gunning it with fastest lap at the moment. Polar's trying to get back that position. He took 2 big hits, so he's considering he's in second. He's probably doing okay. Considering getting smacked real hard on 2 of those U-turn corners.
Yeah. As they make the round out past the smokestacks in front of the facility. We see Ricky Ticky coming in behind. We got the Polar Duck just to the left there. Luce is in front of those 3. We see on the back here, Seraphi. Seraphi from Dune Riders. They're working on getting their first one. Renlos also trying to get a completion. So we see their Dune Riders completed 1 lap. And Renlos will be the last ones to check in here.
Should be points for how many times you get hit exiting the U-turn, I reckon. So Polar's ahead in that game. I love the contrast on this track. Actually, the like it's very well lit once you're in the industrial area, and then you hit the outside terrain, and the rain hits, and it gets dark. I love that contrast. It really divides the track into 2 very distinct areas. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the turns known as the blenders.
Yeah, nice. It's clean track, like easy to understand. It looks kind of complicated when you throw the U-turns in there, but it really isn't. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, this is probably going to be a fast track.
Yeah, a good mixture, as you mentioned. You've got some of the natural terrain for a good portion of the run, but then you got those sections where you're going up on the actual paved roads. So Premier Corps Colonial, Initial D, they are good to go. I do think that a correction there for Renlos did not pass through the correct start and finish line, so their first lap actually did not count.
Okay,
a little bit of off track for that. So
yep, they'll be kicking themselves, I'm sure. Interesting. Initial D in second place again for this race. So that's all good signs, to be honest. Like if you get repeat performance like that, it's a good sign for the whole tournament. We'll see how it goes though. Early in this race.
Yeah, there's Space Tech, Kamikaze from Delta Diatus and Test Squadron, Angry Chisel, Shugo the Lucky One, Dean Gakis, those trio, Bell and Red on top. And Slum KH4 from Team Tang. Crushbringer from Just Crush. Anril and Ponza. Anril from Amrock's Fang. Ponza from Drunken Turtles.
Yeah, it's all close.
See the blender here.
Close. Oh,
1, 2, and 3 up
Pola's
there.
Trying to regain.
Polar Duck.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He tried to take the inside track. He may have it.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is cool. The mules look way more stable, and they look way more enjoyable to race.
It's the added 2 wheels, right? The 6-wheeled vehicles have that bonus. It's a little known fact about StarCitizen is that more wheels means better stability, regardless of any other factor.
That makes sense. Hopefully that's a real life experience as well. That is close. Polar Duck is so close. That's very cool. Once he sees
Ricky Ticky from Sire just behind there.
Yeah, Ricky's going to be all over this.
And as they come up onto the next blender.
They're neck and neck. They're so close to each other. This is good racing, mate. It's good racing. Let's see what happens here. Polar out the gate first. Polar's back in the lead. Yeah. Polar's got something to prove. Once they see it, awesome, man. I don't know where it was. I think it was it was the day Morelli. I was going through our socials the other day and I saw a picture of the 1CC group getting together at one of their mates' houses.
Oh, nice.
And all playing in the same room and having the feed on, and yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see that stuff. I love it.
You know, I haven't had a game that's driven as much in-person interaction before. You know, the in-person citizen cons and the bar citizen movements and all that. I think there's a very strong community behind it, and it shows in the events like this where community-based racing tracks that we're going out and running this. that and really being adopted by CIG, getting the racing tracks that they had for a while there. Hopefully get back in.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know it's interesting, man, because obviously we're doing some more live stuff kind of connected to Star Citizen events when possible. Even though we just did one in Sydney, not connected to CitizenCon at all, and the turnout was great for an Australia. Like we've hosted a Bar Citizen in Melbourne. We got about 85 people there, which is pretty good for Australia, to be honest. But to get 500 people out to Sydney for the event in February was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Everyone loves each other. Everyone's kind of a similar mentality when it comes to. It's not like Fortnite or League of Legends. It's a very large demographic of people playing that game. This is a kind of a tighter knit demographic. So I think it helps the community, being the type of game that it is, that it does attract a certain type of people. I'm not saying people who play Fortnite and League of Legends don't play this game. It's just it's
they're
just
the worst.
less common.
That's okay.
I love League. I played League a lot, but it's just a different experience from a community perspective. But
and having witnessed the Fight or Flight event in the Manchester CitizenCon 2954, that was quite the setup. It was great to be able to. You guys had Chris Roberts up on stage with you, and kind of the live events there. Made it really interesting, really fun to observe. And
I know I got to spend a little bit of time with Chris in February, and having him on the mezzanine and watching what we do from up there and looking down and having a good time. I don't know, it's weird, man. Like I used to play Wing Commander 4 when I was a youngster, and being able to hang out and experience this with him, it's a very surreal experience. But it's fun. It's been good. It's they loved it. We loved it. Kick off the World Bar Citizen tour, and we put a lot of work into it. So we had a great time. The community had a great time. Had such a good vibe.
Yeah. All right, we're seeing the Polar Duck from Initial D, who's maintaining a lead, going through those blenders. Luce coming in behind. We see Seraphi right out in front of him. Now, Seraphi from Dune Riders is actually one lap behind, about to get lapped, so having a little bit of a struggle today. Polar Duck definitely taking off here. Getting some separation. That's Luce from Premier Corcola just behind.
Yeah, Seraphi's going to get lapped here by the looks of it. But Polar, once he's seeing Ricky, all experienced with this track clearly. Polar might just be a little bit more practiced by the looks of it. Being able to lose position, gain position, get hit twice, still in the lead. I'd suggest that Polar's spent a lot of time on this track, it shows.
And we see Balsamic, Whitehawk, Kamikaze, Denkakas, Shugo the Lucky One, Slum Cage 4, and Space Tech. The pack still pretty close. And Anvil right behind. We've got the first three, second three, and then probably a 5 or 6, just as they can try and get a little bit of separation.
Yeah, fast laps here. What's our fastest lap time so far? It's very quick. Very quick. This will be over before we know it, even though it's 12 laps.
Yeah, we're, as you mentioned, 12 laps. We're almost halfway there. Initial team's getting up to lap 5 that they're getting started into. So about a little over a third of the way done.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, the lighting here just feels like a great industrial complex, the various loading docks and smokestacks and storage areas and just large industrial machinery.
I do love the the company branding they're able to bring. Well, Ricky is launching in there. The company branding that they brought across. Obviously with Hurston Dynamics, you can really see that through everything on Hurston. Even that central building in the complex does have remnants of bang, bang. Remnants of the Hurston Dynamics head office building in Lawville. It still brings that vibe across too. The branding design in this game is so great. I really appreciate branding a lot, and transferring design across and tying things together. And I really appreciate what they've done with CDC with that as well. It looks very well built in that world and that company. So.
The all of these kind of distribution centers they've done fantastic work with. So yeah, we see the polar duck coming up over Serify. Some folks on the back there. Oh, polar duck does make that turn.
Yeah, with ease. Serify hanging on really well though, I've got to say. Hung on to that for quite some time, but Polar's just nailing those U-turns, man.
Yeah,
he took first back from a U-turn. Yeah,
yeah. The right approach on those definitely pays off, and shows someone who's practiced the track. Tried to optimize those lines, understanding which angle is going to get him the best approach. So Polar Duck, Luce, Riki Tiki, really on that three-way battle for the front.
Yep. Shout out to B Graphics. My bad. B Graphics, mate, coming in, helping us out. B's fairly newish to the team. Not new, but been showing a lot of dedication and showing up to everything. So shout out to Graphics for that. That's cool. Obviously with Foxy and Misty and Broms all out there doing cams. We got Fords and Dexter and a bunch of people on the ground, getting people into place. So shout out to the team. Sorry if I've missed anyone. Stealth's out there somewhere. Team on the back end doing getting these races set up for us. Got to remember that they don't happen on their own.
And yeah, see some of those mid folks there.
Love that shot, actually.
Yeah.
Very Blade Runner.
Best lap so far is from Riki Tiki. 3 minutes 7 seconds.
3 minutes.
And yeah,
nice.
This view here, I don't know if we're getting sunrise soon or not, but yeah, definitely an interesting look to it.
Yep.
So just about everybody on lap 6. Renlos, of course, suffering a 1 lap penalty for not going through the right start-finish line area. That is, kind of an unforced error that's going to really haunt them. Polar Duck, again, getting a very smooth line through the blender.
Just annihilates those U-turns. Pretty impressive, to be honest. So we're halfway now. We're into lap 6 of 12. So... Polar's dominating and showing that domination. Renlos, like you said, got a 1 lap penalty for incorrect pathing, and like we've said in the past, you can still get a decent position. You just have to see what happens to the rest of the pack. There's still plenty of time, honestly, for something bad to happen, someone to overturn, someone to crash out. There's still plenty of time for that. So you just got to be patient and hang in there. I know when we first started System 7, Croncy used to race, right? And Croncy would just literally sit at the back and wait for everyone to leave the grid, and then he'd just wait at the back and take his time, and he would always get up in the top 4 or 5. Like he would, it's a tactic. It's definitely a tactic. I would say the Mule's looking pretty solid this year though, so it might not be the best tactic at this point because the Mule looks very sturdy, easy to drive. Its handling is very easy, and I think might not be the best tactic to hang out and wait. I think you really need to get in the mix of it with this particular race.
Yeah, the amount of teams here, the separation that's happening, I think it's all very marginal as far as who's gonna overtake or not. The vehicles themselves handling pretty consistently, where with the leisure loop, those vehicle handling had a lot of other variables that were driving things, so maybe that made more sense to sit back, not get yourself into the cluster. But yeah, this definitely seems to be performing well, cooperating with folks.
Definitely. Definitely. Coming in to the next lap down the bottom there, Polar about to go into lap 7. Awesome shot here from Foxy. Give us a decent overview of where everybody is sitting. And yeah, there's a lead pack. We got Balsamic and Whitehawk kind of in 4th and 5th-ish, kind of fighting for that position. Then there's a big mid pack and a couple of stragglers at the end there. But hey, Ponza and Angry, it's their first race for the season, so we'll see if they can catch up. Renlos in the at the back there too, but has that penalty, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, and yeah, the separation here, not quite as distributed right now, but again, getting into our 6th lap completed, right past the halfway point for most of our racers. It does seem like, yeah, the only place that you're going to be able to make up most of that time is in the loops if you happen to have some type of collision. We saw that almost right off of the bat, 20, 30 seconds into the race. Kamikaze rejoining, I say username Kamikaze, but really performing a Kamikaze maneuver trying to rejoin the pack, knocking several teams into a bit of a hornet's nest there.
Definitely. Yeah, it really did split the pack up from the get-go, didn't it? And you could see it happening too. Like it went far left and then cut straight back in. I'm like, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always the risk of the early moments in a grid-based start. So obviously it was one factor today.
Yeah, so it is actually sunrise. So we will slowly, it takes a while on Hurston, but we will slowly see the sun rise. But I'm enjoying this contrast, the rain and the darkness and into the CDC space. I think it looks cool. Sun can stay down. I'm fine with it.
Couple of names out there. That's Luce, Ricky Tiki, trailing a little bit behind the Polar Duck. He's gotten some good separation right now. Well practiced on those lines. We had a couple other folks behind. That was, I think, Whitehawk from SPG Racing. Yeah, so Luce and Ricky Tiki now like duking it out in these turns. Here we go.
Yeah, this is good competition here because Polar's really proven how well he knows the corners because he's just pulling ahead no matter what. These two have to prove it against each other for 2nd and 3rd. So once you see with Luce technically kind of losing position here because was with Polar and in first at one position, but Polar took that back. But Luce's just dropping back a little bit every lap, and Ricky is really sticking with him and showing that Ricky is possibly the dominant 2nd place position runner here. We'll see how that goes because anything can happen. But it's super close with those two. Good to see.
Yeah, and the separation there, doing well. And then the middle of the pack, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place. They're not really on top of each other anymore. They're far enough spread out that you're really hoping somebody's going to have a forced error here. Premier Court Colonial and Sire, both 0.69 seconds separation between each of those.
Well, maybe it's worked for Kamikaze because I think he's coming up in he's coming up in 6th there, and he is gaining. So that the 4th and 5th were kind of out on their own, but Kamikaze is coming out of that mid pack, looking for a higher position. So we'll see how that goes. I am kind of rooting for Kamikaze and Test Squadron this season. I had them in my qualifier server, so I'm kind of they did really well. I'm kind of interested to see how they go this year. Yeah. I can't say that for all Test Squadron members, just these guys. But
and that's a smooth turnaround there through the blender.
So smooth.
A little rainy, and we're
dominant.
Starting to see that red sky sunrise.
Look at that. Okay, I was wrong. Yeah. Sunrise looks amazing. That looks incredible. Look at that. The smoke pillars. Very cool.
Yeah.
Good track. I like it. It's good.
Most of our teams getting started on lap number 8. See Ponza there from Drunken Turtle on the far side. They are coming up on 13th position. Quite a few in the middle there. The Polar Duck, the Premier Core. Sire Racing with Ricky Ticky. Doing all right.
Yeah.
Kamikaze and Dean might have a collision off to the right there.
Yeah. I'm looking at that. They avoided each other. Kamikaze's still got a bit of work to do to catch Balsamic, but Dean's gonna. No, Dean's out of danger there. But we're gonna have some mid pack issues here with the U-turn. It's always fun to watch. Ricky and
may have
Luce
hung up on something.
Damn, Dean's taking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ricky and Luce in the tunnel again together. Let's see what comes of that.
Ooh. Yeah, it looked like Ricky Ticky might have gotten stuck in a corner or something.
Yeah.
Polar Duck comes along that left wing across to the finish line for lap number 9. Ricky Ticky.
Yeah, Polar's well ahead.
Sonic.
Polar's well ahead. Ricky wants it. I think Ricky might take second here. We're all 3/4 of the way. So there's only four laps left. Initial D just crossing the finish line now. Yeah, they're looking like they're going to secure it, which is pretty impressive. I'm going to say it. I'm really surprised with Initial D. Not that they're bad, but they've had a few bad runs and some unlucky turns throughout the course of the last couple of years with the tournament. And I think it looks like they've really shown that they've put in even more effort than they normally do, which is already still a hell of a lot. And like Santi was dominant in race 1 and was a clear top 3 placer from the get-go, and Polar Duck's like hands down the best racer on this track at this point in time. So Initial D got a pretty solid team going into this tournament this year.
Yeah, and that was Dean and Kamikaze looked like they were right on top of each other towards the middle of the pack. Of course, that's Warp Rom Test Squadron. Polar Duck coming through that loop. Yeah, 1.15 second separation, so pretty close.
That's very close.
Well executed loop there.
Yeah, it's a good race length actually. 12 laps is probably perfect for the amount. We kind of aim to go for like the 45-minute mark in general for most of our courses, especially when we're running 2 races on one day. Sometimes we go a little bit over or a little bit under, and obviously it depends on race skill and how you finish, but we kind of aim for that kind of time frame for most of our courses that we do, except for the final. Obviously we don't mind, go a little bit longer.
Yeah, but the Polar Duck really showing some great track knowledge here, keeping a very clean line through that. A lot of separation between second and third positions behind him. Luce and Ricky Ticky fighting it out for third place, second place, and third place.
Luce's held on.
Yeah. Seeing some good movement in the middle of the pack. Shugo, the lucky one. Space Tech. They might have some collisions here as they run through the blender. It's hard to tell with the number of markers overlaid on top of each other. Definitely a little bit of a traffic jam in there.
Yeah, well, Kamikaze held on from Dean because Dean got in front for a little bit, but Kamikaze's taken that back, and probably has gained some length position on Balsamic. So we'll see what happens there. But he's going to have to move if he wants to change. If he wants to get another position, he's running out of time.
Yeah, and not to be left out, Whitehawk coming in from SPG Racing, who's 4th position, but trying to make up. Balsamic behind that from Catcom. So 4th and 5th, not too far behind. Any unforced errors from Ricky Tiki or Luce They could see them drop from a second place contention all the way down to potentially 6th or worse. They need to keep things going smoothly. Polar Duck continues, looking good there. Some interesting terrain artifacting happening. The water.
Yep.
It's flood season in Hurston.
Yeah. So the water levels are high. Pop in lake every now and then, eh? Yeah, why not? It's like living in Queensland, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, look at this pack. The Shigo starting at about number, what is that? Number 8, 7th, 8th, and 9th position. We got 4 racers right on top of each other back there. Balsamic coming across from Catcom, 5th position.
Dean wants it. He wants it. I'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And now, did they do a server reset between race 1 and race 2, or did everybody just transfer over? Because I know Dean was having a lot of desync issues as we started, as we're going through race 1. But if that has
it does look
cleared up,
it does look smoother. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not staying in communication with comms while I'm on casting, so I'm not sure exactly what they did. We normally would have just had a lot of stuff ready on the same server to transfer so that we don't have to restart. But yeah, I think you're right. It's pretty smooth. It seems a lot smoother than a Crusader, but that could be a few different things. But you might be right.
Yeah,
I might be right.
And just as we saw the scoreboard update, positions 8, 9, 10, and 11, I think is a total of like 2.5 to 3 seconds separation between those 4 spots. So a very tight cluster there as they battle it out for the middle ground. It's the scoring makes a difference there. 8th position getting 4 points, 9th getting 2 points, 10th and 11th only getting 1 each. So some work they're trying to put in, hopefully getting a little bit more. But at position 1, the Polar Duck.
Polar's, mate, where's your perfect corners? Hey, what's the deal?
Just a sense of vertigo that probably takes over a little bit there.
Just putting in his own handicaps. Yeah. It could have been bad. It could have been real bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Built up a pretty good margin now, and Luce, Ricky Tiki there, right on top of each other again. That's a good battle.
Yeah. All right, Ricky's shaving off a second per lap, which is pretty impressive. Though Luce must be doing something similar because he ain't losing that position. And I'm assuming Polar Duck's doing something even better than that. So yeah, but still good to understand what they're trying to do.
Yeah, we've only got 2 full laps left, basically. These two still neck and neck and duking it out, 100% earning their positioning right now.
So close. So close. One mistake and it's done.
0.8 seconds.
Yep. 2 laps to go for the top 3.
Yeah. And we see Dune Riders actually behind only on lap 8, taking a 3-lap drop. That is quite unfortunate. That is Seraphi, who's probably had some struggles. Renlos, who we saw missed the 1 lap at the start, went the wrong start-finish line, so first lap ended up not being counted. An unfortunate start there for them. But Luce, Ricky Tiki, it seems like Luce's got the first half of the track a little bit better. Ricky Tiki's got a little bit better mastery on the second half, and they're just trading those advantages back and forth.
Yep. It doesn't help too much when the course is symmetrical.
Ooh, is that a potential collision right there? They got a little hung up as Ricky Tiki takes off.
Ricky's capitalized. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That collision
Look
in
at
that
that.
corner.
Luce ain't going to be happy. We'll see what he does. He's still got an opportunity here. 1.5 laps to go, basically. Let's see what goes down.
Yeah, that you bet Luce is not happy about that maneuver. They both got tangled up in the blender there, and Ricky, just for whatever slight advantage, comes off in the lead.
You know, Luce might actually, be possibly better off in this position. I think having something to chase is better for Luce as a racer. We'll see.
And
just
for
coming
Ricky
into this
being out
last lap.
front, yeah, the pressure's on you. It's your position to lose, and you feel that pressure. It's a psychological impact.
Yep.
And definitely something that I'd hate to be in that position. Any unforced error, you're going to be judging yourself, and you just worry about it.
They're so close to each other. So close.
Yeah, that is quite the.
It's cool.
And it's not an insignificant amount of points. Second place is 18, third place is 15. Of course, if anything significant happens, you might lose that position even further. But yeah, their separation right now is minimal.
Yeah. Yep, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, quick shout out to Philly Ravez and Pandalorian as well on the ATMO Esports team, helping us set up these races today. Thank you very much, team. Appreciate it. Enigmatic on production. Appreciate you, Enigmatic.
Yeah. And 0.6 seconds coming up on their final laps. We'll see what that shot in the middle of the pack looks like. Whitehawk and Balsamic, 4th and 5th positions, pretty solidly there. Gotta feel happy about that. Finishing out the last lap strong.
Definitely.
This middle of the pack, we got Kamikaze from Test Squadron.
Yeah, didn't really gain much more on Balsamic, but still, I'd rather be there than further back. So Test's still going to get a decent amount of points to keep him in this.
Yeah,
definitely doing
we
well.
See Slum Cage 4, Anril, Shugo, the lucky one. Bring up the back there. Space Tech, that's the other one. So really close separation between these four.
From Punch Nomis, right in the middle of everything.
Yeah, 3 seconds total separation between those 4 teams.
Oof, 1 second there. So Delta Diet is up in 9th now, ahead of Punch Nomis. So that's interesting. Amrock's Fang down in 11th for this race against the last race. So there's going to be some change. Initial D are going to come out of today looking pretty good. Looking pretty damn good.
And the pole position, of course, getting them a huge advantage, being able to, or second position, giving them a big advantage, missing a lot of that initial tussle on those first silo corners.
Oof. Okay, desync. Polar Duck having to fight off someone who's overtaking to get through his normal perfection.
Quite
done
a
with these.
risk there.
Oh no! Ricky's coming.
sideways.
Ricky's coming. Polar, you gotta get cracking, bro. Let's go. Dude. Oh, that is not good. Actually, that helped a little bit.
That's Ponza trying for the overtake. Yeah, so
this is gonna change. This is gonna change.
Ponza's getting lapped, but Polar Duck coming in for the final. We have to see if there's anybody on his tail.
Yeah, Ricky's
Ricky
up there.
Tiki,
I saw Ricky.
Luce, they were coming up. Oh, Ricky Tiki's right there.
Ricky's right there. This has changed.
That is your 1, 2, and 3. Now, of course, Ponza trying not to get lapped as well, coming into his final. And
Ponza
Luce just behind that.
Ponza needs to let Polar pass, in my opinion.
Well,
this
you
was
know, it depends on
F1.
how much Ricky Ticky
Oh no, that's
or
not true.
Luce's
Yeah,
bribed
that's,
him.
yeah, exactly. Quick shout out to security. Armco, Dust Cartel, Shadow Viper helping out QJM this week, so we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
All
Polar Duck.
right, look at that.
Look at that. That's incredible. 1, 2, 3. That was cool. Polar Duck probably has brown pants right now. Whitehawk and Balsamic holding on to those positions. Well done, guys. Well done. Very cool. Very
Getting
cool.
that locked in.
Yep. All right.
Kamikaze,
Test squadron.
our
Kamikaze.
entrance
Dean
for
and Kamikaze
the
had a little bit of a battle there, but Kamikaze held on to that.
yeah, living up to the name. Certainly, probably. We talked about some positive karma to start. I think Kamikaze's got a few enemies out there on the track today.
Yeah, it was. Yep, definitely. That was hilarious, and you could see it happening too. It's like, here we go. Definitely, probably a highlight for me.
You know, it's unfortunate what it means for the rest of the racers, because you know that type of thing, you want to keep it just to clean racing and skill there, but that just throws a chaos factor, and it's just, you know, quite unfortunate for those who were affected. But
I agree. Okay,
we'll
Delta getting up in 8th. Delta getting up in 8th position, which is good for them. Amarok's Fang 9th, a little bit different to last race. But
Shugo offline. He's off the track.
Shugo's going.
He's gone the wrong direction. So giving up position to Slum KH4.
Damn, punch nomies.
Team Tang.
You guys get good on this.
And there's one more. I'm not seeing a nameplate for it that might actually overtake, because Shugo took the wrong line.
I think Shugo probably had some other issues, because this is the 12th lap. I don't think they've done that before, so who knows what was going on. Yeah.
Maybe a dead controller or something. That was you saw him turn around. He just didn't complete that. I mean, kind of the 120 degree.
That hurts a little bit.
Yeah, punch him. He's going down to position 12.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, June Rider's still racing it out. Down the back there, Renlos should have another lap. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think Renlos, and then we saw Drunken Turtle, who's doing his. Dune Riders, that was Seraphi, who has been a little bit slower.
Yep.
Ponza there, working on finishing.
Yeah, we're almost wrapped up here. 3 teams to go. A couple of teams on their last laps, and then June Riders still got 2 laps to go. But you know, pretty decent setup and run time for today's race 2. Pretty happy with that. Well done, team. And
the cat herders were out in top form today, as any large scale MMO event could definitely benefit from.
Definitely. Well, once the sun's in the sky, it's a pretty morbid location. But the sunrises are nice. I was wrong.
Yeah, looking pretty good. So here's Ponza from Drunken Turtle Racing. We'll see Renlos coming in shortly after. But Ponza on his final approach, sealing in number 14. Renlos with the most unfortunate miss on the first lap. Kind of the same line that Shugo may have ended up doing. We've got Prush Bringers. Just Prush. They had already been marked there, so I don't know if Prush just did an extra lap or what the scoring looks like there.
Yeah. Renlos definitely had that 1 lap penalty. But yeah, June Riders.
There's
still got a little
bit
to go. Yeah. almost
Gotta love
wrapped
the
up.
skill of these pilots.
I enjoyed it. The racing was great. Top 3, 4, 5, and 6 was good. 6 and 7 had a bit of a battle. It was a good race. But yeah, you're right. Kamikaze probably just broke up those groups from the very get-go. I don't know if that was a tactic. It kind of looked like it was. It kind of looked very deliberate, which is fine because, if Kamikaze wants to give up certain amounts of positions to different races, then that's what he's just done. So.
And Seraphi's gone sideways in here. Geometry is incompatible with that corner. Renlos is finishing up. So,
all right, Seraphi, you're almost there. No, you're not. Sorry.
As we work through that, let's talk about what the upcoming races are going to be. So, next time we're going to be meeting for race day 2 is Saturday, April 18th. Similar start time with 2 races on the docket. Do you want to talk to us about what those races are?
Yeah, race 3 and 4. Race 3 and 4 takes us to Levski for the first time in System 7 history. We head to Nix for the Levski Helix, which is a Gravlev race, and with the Pulse LX, 10 laps around Levski using the shipping tunnel and another cavern to kind of create a double loop on a single lap. And then, we're going to do that for the first time. So it'll be an interesting one because it's very topsy-turvy and it's something we haven't really done too much of before, which is, space flight racing, really. It's not atmospheric. So it's a very different experience for our races. Before we head on into race 4 with our AC map Dead Man's Hook, which is in Winner's Circle, and that's also Gravlev racing. So it's a big Gravlev day, and then with another new track. So lots of new tracks this year, and I'm looking forward to Dead Man's Hook, to be honest, because of that collision straight, because it's really going to change positions a lot, I think, until at least. Well, it is heats, so there's not a whole pack in there. It's only 4 at a time, so it might not be that bad. But
yeah. But based on the skill of the racers, we've seen some really close battles. I think even with a 4-person heat, you're going to run into that, and I expect the finals and the semifinal, kind of that runner-up heats. Those, I think, that will be a lot more of a risk as you're trying to do that crossover. 3 laps with 4 other players, so we'll see if that becomes a major issue.
Each heat lap should be about 12 minutes, man. 12 minutes,
yeah. And running an arena commander setup time in between should be pretty exciting. I've loved those before. We had the Snake Pit last year as one of those heat-based races, which was quite entertaining. And excited to see how that's going to go. That is race day number 2. Race day number 3, we're getting in on April 25th. We're going to start again with Marshfire Ridge on Bloom and Pyro on the Alpo Anox. Gravlev with a pretty fast top speed, 224 meters per second. That's be a 2x8 starting grid, 2 laps with the pit stop, you said, since it is kind of an endurance-based race. As we watch one of our ships there decide to take a little sunbathing exercise. Then finally, that's race 5, Marshfire Ridge. And then race 6 is Jackson's Gauntlet on Monox with the Drake Mule. This will be a heat-based race with the Drake Mule. 4 players and 3 laps each at that track. Now, that track terrain actually got updated in 4.7, so redrawing the map there to run things.
Yeah. Yep, we got some updates for that map, and race 5 is a little bit different with its endurance aspect and pit stop. So looking forward to those as well. Also, both completely new tracks. A lot of newness happening before the final. yeah, look out this week. You will see the Jackson Scotland update come, and you will be able to get practicing on that. I feel like racers are probably have a good chance to actually understand the terrain by starting to race something similar to that now, because the biggest thing about it is the addition of the trees. To be honest, it does change the way that you have to race the terrain. It's going to be, I'm not sure. I think it's maybe harder than it was now with the trees. So even though there's some clear pathing through them and it's totally fine, you do have to go a little bit wider in some sections and whatnot. So yeah, going to be interesting, mate. Interesting before the final.
Yeah. And going into that final again, we just watched as Dune Riders Serify crossed the finish line to complete lap number 12. So our race number 2 is in the books. Getting some points tallied. We're waiting on a semi-final leaderboard, which will be, of course, verified with all the recordings from today. Those points, of course, putting you in towards the final score. But the finale, that's happening on May 2nd at Volcano Lake in Pyro on the moon Pharaoh, one of the Pyro 5 moons. Some of my favorite locations throughout there. That's going to be a combination of the Lynx and the Cyclone. Racers will change halfway through. And that track incorporates a Polaris bridge with ramps on either side to cross over an island area. It's mostly chained together, but there is one spot that needs it. This has been this has been race number 2, the Dust Hustle here at the Kovalex Distribution Center in Hurston. With the Drake Mule, 12 laps have been completed. Our teams are awaiting those final results tallied. I think a couple of great highlights from today. First, that battle for position 2 and 3, and then also position 1, the Polar Duck holding a strong, commanding lead for the majority of the race, but that time separation between those 3 was just razor thin. So.
Yeah, Polar Duck showing just how much they've practiced this track and know all of the entry and exit points for all of the corners. Even getting hit twice, crashing out twice, but still had so much distance ahead of second and third to just hold on to it just at the end there, with Ricky coming in really close to almost, being in a position where could have possibly taken first if Polar Duck had made one more mistake. But Polar's experience shone through, and yeah, it was incredible to watch. Obviously, second and third with 1cc and Ricky Tiki there, with Luce and Ricky Tiki. That was awesome. And Kamikaze, I guess, from the start, really dividing the pack with that Kamikaze maneuver. From what I can tell and what Red you mentioned, I think you're right. I think it really determined the entire race. That
really did create separation in the middle through a factor chaos in there that teams just had to adapt for. And as we saw Ricky Tiki, Luce doing some battles in the corners there. I think some collision on this map was to their to their benefit in most cases, but we saw a few teams really pull ahead, running some clean lines. So
yeah, definitely. Well, we got this nice pull out here from Broms, showing us the terrain from orbit, and you can see the nice cloud tech above there, and we've kind of left that dusty bowl, and we're going to be moving on to the next system for race 3 and 4 coming up next time. And that was fun. Both tracks are great tracks, I think. The Mule was good to watch as far as its capabilities in racing at the moment, which is kind of surprising. When it first came out, I didn't think the Mule would be that effective as a racing vehicle, but it is actually pretty fun to race. And STV showing us a little bit more difficulty with handling on Leisure Loop, but it is a more complicated track. And it's still good to watch. Obviously, we had a few flips, and Sanji coming in with a few bumps to, I think, 3 team members and getting them all back on.
Some good assists. I would say the feel good moment of the day. Sanji helping get some teams that have been sideways for multiple laps giving them a little helpful nudge to get them righted and let them complete their laps. But yeah, the good karma and yeah, the chaos moment there with Kamikaze splitting up the pack. Here we see Sanji with the assists, definitely earning the good guy award for the day. Ended up coming in second place by a total of 6 seconds for race number 1. So it could have cost him. We'll see.
Yeah. 100%. Well, like we're just collating the leaderboard for next race day, but we normally give it some time so that we can actually make sure that everything is correct and that we haven't made any mistakes. We don't release any false information. So we just go through and make sure that everything is legit before putting out today's leaderboards. But they should, from what I can tell, they should stand at what you saw today. So you can imagine you'll see Initial D in pole position for the start of next round. We'll release those results on socials and on our Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord, please do, ATMO Esports, and you'll get all the updates there. You'll get all your social pings there as well. So feel free to jump on there if you haven't, just to keep updated with System 7 and any future activities that we have. But yeah, mate, what else we got? I think that's pretty close to wrap up, yeah?
Yeah, watch the socials for the official. Watch the socials for the official, the official standings and points as they get set up. So we'll compile all the placements. We get some highlights ready, and then yeah, coming up 3 more race days. We got April 18th, April 25th, and May 2nd. Race days 3, 2, 3, and then the finale on race day 4. So.
Yeah, I just do have real quickly, guys. I just do have a race placement for the race 1 and 2. Red, I'll go through race 1. You can go through race 2, mate. I don't know if you can see that. I'll do it. Race 1 placement. Sky Racing Team and position 1. Initial D, position 2. Amarok's Fang, position 3. Team Tang in 4th. 5th with Test Squadron. 6th with 1cc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Just Prosh with 7. 8th AWA. 9th Catcom. 10th Punch Nomies. 11th Warp Rom. 12th SPG. 13th June Raiders. 14th Renloss Racing. 14th RSL. And 15th Delta. 16th Death Watch. Race 2. Race 2, we had Initial D in 1st, Sky in 2nd, 1cc in 3rd, SPG in 4th, Catcom in 5th, Test Squadron 6th, Warprom 7th, Delta Diatus in 8th, Amrox in 9th, Just Prush in 10th, Team Tang 11th, Punch Nomies 12th, RSL 13th, AWA 14th, Renloss Racing in 15th, and Doom Riders in 16th. So that's our current placements. We'll get a graphic out to you guys in those channels that I mentioned earlier via our Discord and on our social platforms. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you all in race 3 and 4. Thanks, Red, for hosting me today. I don't know if you'll see me for the rest of the season. You probably won't, but I'm happy to jump on. It was fun. Thanks, man. It's something different for me to do.
Yeah, appreciate it. Good time up in the broadcast booth today. A couple of good races. I'm excited to see more as we come in for those additional races. Thank you all for tuning in. And yeah, we'll definitely see you April 18th, April 25th, and then May 2nd for the finals.